And we are live. Am I hosting this?
I don't care.
All right, guys.
No, this is all. It's all casual.
Here's what we do, guys. We're gonna have a casual discussion for those of you who are interested in this. So this is the first time Sergio has met Rollo. Obviously, I've been on both shows. Rollo and I do a show together, and I'm from Dallas, so I see Sergio all the time. So I'm gonna moderate this when they start throwing lobs at each other, and then hopefully keep them from fighting.
Yes.
So that's the thing here. I've been given a list.
Nozzle.
There you go. Now you're happy. I've been given a list of topics that we're going to discuss while we're doing this, and I'm probably going to read some things off the different chats. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. So the first thing that we want to talk about, actually, Sergio, this is what I want to know. Like,
hey, can we make sure the audio is good? So if you guys in the chat, hit a 1 in the chat.
Yeah, hit a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear us. Okay. So
you're good.
Here's the thing. Also, we can just like listen to it on here. Let me see if I can turn it on. Turn it up real quick. See if I can hear it.
El Chris.
So the thing is, yeah, it doesn't look like
Audio
I'm live
is
yet.
ass.
Audio is ass.
Oh, you can't hear us?
Maybe it's coming from the camera mics or
Echo. Oh, take off echo cancellation
Oh, that's right.
on mine.
Yep.
maybe it's coming from the camera mics.
There we go. So yeah, we do have a little echo, I think.
He's in.
got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
All right, beautiful. So here's
Oh no, it's wrong mics. It might, like he said, wrong mic. It might be camera mics. Go to the settings again.
It should not be.
It's, well, I would just check it really.
yeah,
quick.
it's definitely not using the show
Yeah,
mic.
it's defaulting to the microphone. Yeah. Wait. Hello.
1, 2. Are we good there?
Sometimes it just shows one pip even though it's
How about that?
All right, how about now?
even worse actually.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello.
One second.
Oh, yeah, we're getting this. It's the Zoom. Hold on. There we go. Try that.
Might be the Zoom. Hello. That's not even touching it.
Hey guys, I think that did it.
Huh? Did that work? Hello. It shows nothing popping up on the thing though.
Yep, that did it. All right, guys, let's go. We're good. All right, guys, sorry about that. All right, you guys should be able to hear me fine.
We're in the new studio now.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with this. Thank you guys for giving us some audio input there. So here's the first thing. Sergio, my question to you has, and I guess to you also, is like, when I talk to the two of you, I don't really see any dissension, but apparently, you've had an issue with some of the things he said, and I've just been confused. I've been confused by like what exactly the issue is. So could you describe?
Definitely 1,000% agree on way more than we disagree on. Like I'm definitely pinching for like the things that like the little tiny things that we're differences in. But I would say that for 90% of stuff, I would actually say you're my biggest inspiration by far on my show. Everything that I say is literally a quote from you, maybe changed a little bit or used with a little riz differently. But otherwise, like I would say I agree with you on damn near everything. It's just these little things that I'm a little bit disagreeing with. I just want to see your opinion on because I read your book. I didn't read all of them. I just was able to read the first one. But I've read Evolutionary Desire. I read Mark Hazenton's book. I read God's Side. Like I was trying to see where you're coming from. I learned a lot. God's Side actually
They're having trouble. We're still having trouble with the audio. He's the only live mic right now.
Me.
He's the only live mic right now.
So it worked for a second, depending on one of those things.
No, it only worked for me.
You want to test these ones? Are you still hearing us? Go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
You're hot over here. I mean, really hot.
Inaudible? Give me a 1 if you in the chat if you hear me like better now. Can't hear.
Yeah, they can only hear me.
And I'm mic 5, by the way.
Yeah. Can you hear Mike 5?
Hello, Mike. Hello.
Yeah, they can only hear me.
1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, his mic's live.
All right.
How about now?
Hello.
Go ahead.
1, 2. Me. Hello. 1, 0. See, they don't hear it yet.
Nothing.
Speak up and go up here.
Hello. I might be able to help you, man.
Mic's not working on Sergio. Still no audio.
All right. How about now, Sergio?
Hello. Check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2.
sound on Sergio. No.
Sound check 1, 2.
You guys are savages.
Mic check 1, 2.
Sergio's hot here.
Mic check 1, 2. Can I look at it? I might be able to help you.
Check this out.
If it's mic 5.
Now, somebody, mic it up. Yeah, test it. I'll take both. Which ones? They should all be playing.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
What should
Mic
they sign
check
up
1,
for?
2. Testing 1, 2.
There's three. Look at
Mic check 1, 2. Testing
Why are
1,
you
2.
not?
Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
No sound.
Mic check 1, 2.
Okay, so this is the one that's your
Mic check
That's
1,
his.
2. Testing 1, 2. Mic check. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Mic check. Hello, hello,
Try
hello,
it out.
hello,
See
hello.
what they're saying. No sound.
Hello, hello, hello. Mic check. Podcast, y'all are savages. Mic check 1, 2. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Mic check 1, 2. Testing.
Where's
1,
Mike's?
2.
Which one's Mike's?
Try that.
Mike's is,
Check, check, check.
What's your
Mike's
number?
is this one?
What
So it
number?
looks like I'm number 2.
Mike is number 2.
Okay, so he's coming through. The other aren't. The other ones aren't. So let's see what they say in the chat right now.
Check, check, check.
Check it. Check it again, sir.
So it
Hello,
looks like
hello,
I'm
hello,
number
hello,
2.
hello. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Check, check, check.
Hello, hello.
So it looks like I'm number 2.
I used.
No, you guys do not have audio.
Hello, hello, hello.
Alright.
Yeah, the only guys, there's a solution here. There's only one solution, and we put the one mic in the middle, and we just talk into it.
You guys do not have audio.
Alright, let's just try to run with that. Let's just keep that
Yeah,
going.
the only guys, there's a solution here. There's only one solution, and we put the one mic in the middle and we just talk into it.
The game is up. The cell, nothing. The mute is off.
Everything should be running.
We always check cables after this.
Yeah.
Let me run the cables. Let me look at where
I mean, it's coming through.
I want to.
It's coming through the board.
Oh, it is coming.
Yeah, it's coming through the board. We have power here. So it should be there.
It's
Check
just
this.
said it-
Is this the one? This is Mike's.
This is his.
This is Mike's.
Mike's 2.
Make sure solo button's not clicked because solo will make it put to just one mic. There's usually a button that says solo, and it'll make it just one mic.
Try that. Maybe the scene. Is that the whole thing?
Hello, hello, hello. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
100, Albert. 100.
Hello, 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 hello. Jay Breezy's OnlyFans recording studio. Hello, hello, hello. I'm being embarrassed.
Still no audio. Okay.
She reminds me of when I first started my podcast.
All right, cool. Can you just put the camera on me, and I'm going to talk to everybody while we wait for you guys to fix this up.
Just share a mic. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
There we go.
All right, cool. Can you just put the camera on me and I'm going to talk to everybody while we wait for you guys to fix this up?
All right, we'll just
Keep
share.
the mics. Just go sit down. I'll work on it.
All right,
Figure it out. Just put the mic in the middle and then.
all right. Maybe this will work for us.
Take turns, like.
That's all audio. How about now?
Test 1, 2. Anybody?
Hello.
No sound.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, we can hear that now. I got that
It's
one.
gonna be really low. Is that your volume all the way up?
Alright, here we go.
All right, we good?
All right, this is not going to be great audio. Just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah.
actually be better off using the inboard
The camera
microphone.
mic-
Yeah.
the camera mics are even better. Like just switching the settings until which one sounds the best might be the best thing to do.
It's just they can hear now. Okay, but very low.
I'm gonna drop the mic on this thing too.
No, it won't matter. They're just gonna hear me 3 times louder than them.
It's directional.
It's directional.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it won't matter. They're just gonna hear me 3 times.
So much is closer to that damn computer. What the fuck?
Just pull that mic this way then. There we go.
Better?
Hello, hello,
No.
hello. It's always gonna shoot.
Oh, you know what you could do? We could use that shotgun mic.
Yeah, but then I gotta feed it through here.
Oh.
We're not gonna do that.
Hey guys, this is good enough.
It's good enough.
Ready? Let's go. Ready, guys? We're gonna go ahead and start this thing up.
Good
Okay.
enough. All right.
Yeah, just turn it
All
up.
right. If it's just unbearable, then let us know. We're just gonna talk loud. All right. We're gonna share one mic. You see the
Yeah.
mic right there in the middle because we're in an OnlyFans studio. Here we go. So go ahead, Sergio. What are the things
Sorry,
that you?
yeah, right ahead.
So here we go, guys. The thing is, I have done shows with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've done maybe 4 shows with him and 50 shows with him, and I don't know what the disagreement is. So could you go? I know you said the majority of your influence comes from Rollo. Could you go over what your disagreements are? Like, why is it that you guys get throw shade in the chat?
Yeah. So it
Why are we here?
Yeah, so it almost always comes down to just a difference in opinion based off of my own life experiences, which obviously you've studied everything to. It's not your life experience; it's based off of science. It's based off of the books that you've read. You've put it all together, and probably some social or your own personal experience too. So just a lot. But like to understand me a little bit more, I was the type where I had my first business when I was 21. I got kicked out of my house at 18. A lot of where I got to where I got today was because of nothing but myself. I didn't have family helping me. It was a lot of me on my own, with girls, with everything. I've had multiple serious relationships with multiple very beautiful women, living with them, all that type of stuff. And so my experiences just show me that some of the things that, like you say, just don't always align. Just like how when Michael and you first started talking, he I don't know if he changed your mind on pre-selection, but he probably might have been like, look at this, look what I'm able to do with this pre-selection, and like see how you can be friends with women, and just certain men can be able to do that, So it kind of goes back to like those things, but just a wide range of like 6 or 7 different things. There's some topics I've just never heard you. I've watched every single show that you do. There's not one thing that I miss. I watch all Rue Zeros. So I'd like to think I know everything about you. So these questions are things that I have not learned about you yet. But for the most part, like I said before.
Let's see if I can educate you.
Yeah. But for the most part, like I said, I agree with you on 90% of things. Like literally, I would not have a show if it wasn't for you. Everything that I teach, everything that I do, I wouldn't be able to do without you. So at the end of the day, it's not that much of a difference. It's very minuscule.
Hey, turn the gain on the mic all the way up.
Yeah, I have it all the way up.
Okay, yeah, they're still saying it's not loud enough.
I'll talk from my diaphragm more, guys. My bad.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, I'll say it with my chest. Sorry, y'all. But no, just to start off, like the first thing is obviously the biggest thing that I do on my show is I teach women. I have a feeling that a lot of people in the red pill space like to gatekeep red pill from women. So I want to know what your opinion was on the gatekeeping of red pill to just men, and if you think that red pill is good for men and women.
Yeah. Well, I've already said this. I've been on several podcasts, and I've actually written essays on this. Is that people have asked me this. I get this from like a lot of people who are part of, like, say, Robert Kiyosaki's crew, and so the women who have a problem with me, they're usually coming at me from a position of ignorance. But the first thing that they ask me is, how come you don't have a rational female?
Yeah.
How come you don't have the female equivalent of the red pill? How come you don't have the pink pill? How come you don't have something like that? And my answer is always the same: it's you read The Rational Male. You will learn more about human nature. You'll learn more about your own nature. And the problem is that when you are explaining unflattering truths to women, when it comes to objective empirical stats, when you're relating that to women, women don't want to hear that. It doesn't taste good. So primarily when we talk about how women tend to be, like, I hate this right now, because people will say that women are more emotional than men, or men are more rational than women. Well, the fact of the matter is that it's not a 50-50 thing. It's not a blank slate. So women tend to prioritize emotion before they prioritize reason. Men tend to prioritize reason before they prioritize emotion. Now people will say, well, I know some guy and he's such a pussy, and I know some guy and he just flies off the handle and he's emotional, he gets angry and he gets crazy or whatever. I can't believe the rational male, like that's what they'll say, right? And then the when I'm in the midst of those conversations, I have to say, look, you're still subscribing to something like a blank slate ideology, but well, really it is an ideology, but you're a mentality of the blank slate. And so when people say, Rollo, how come you don't do anything for women? How come the red pill's not for women? How come it's not the rational female? Because if you write the rational male, therefore you are required by law, you are obligated to balance things out in the force and do your next book, The Rational Female. And you know what? If I was out for a lot of money, I probably would have done that by now because so many people have asked me for that. Mm-hmm. But what happens is when you put women into the mix, whenever you bring women into the red pill, and trust me, I've been doing this for 20 some odd years, in every single instance, women are on board with it. They love it so long as it's a sandbox that they can play in. It's like gamer girls. When gamer girls want to go into the game stores, they want to go and play these games. Like, hey, can girls play too? Mm-hmm. And the question isn't about whether they can play or not. It's like, why am I obligated as a guy to balance things out for women? I get this all the time when I'm on Access Vegas or I'm doing a Crush and Fit or I'm doing something else. It's always what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you go and you say something that is an unflattering truth about women, you have to, in a gynocentric social order, you have to explain something that is bad for men too. So if it's bad for women, well, men do it too, and they're worse, and let me tell you why. And how come you don't talk about that? And the reason why I don't get into female issues specifically is because I am talking about one sex at that time. I am not trying to balance the force. Mm. I'm not trying to, say, well, it's okay, we're all going to go away from this conversation and we're going to have a good taste in our mouth at the end of it. Because when you deliver information of any kind, not even just this, any kind, you have to tell people how to feel about it. Because if you don't tell them how to feel about it, they will insert their own feelings into that. So what happens is you get these women who will come into the red pill space, or they'll want the rational female or something, and then after a while, they start to sanitize it. They water it down. They sugar it up. They try to...
You're talking about the speakers.
More or less, yeah. But
not the women that are base women, like normal women.
Well, what's a normal woman? That's the other question. It's like, I get that.
Well, I just mean NPCs, just like all the like obviously, like we'll say Pearl, is somebody that, talks about this stuff, but she's an influencer. But like, I'm saying like normal women, okay? Like, because I agree with you. Like, the way I see it is there's a huge issue with just words today. Like, we have the manosphere, but we don't talk of femosphere. Where I think that there's a manosphere and a femosphere. I've actually used
that term before.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just don't hear it a lot though. And like, in the thing, like, I would say Pearl is a part of the femosphere. She has said multiple times on our show.
Part of the hackosphere is what she is.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's trying to give women advice now. So I say anybody that's trying to give men advice is in the manosphere. Anybody that's trying to give women advice is in the femosphere. But she's also entertainment,
but you see,
which is
Pearl
completely
is
different.
not just trying to give women advice. She's trying to pretend that she is an authority on things that she is in no way ever going to be an authority on, and is trying to really. I mean, hell, I just saw her twice on Pierce Morgan, and they list her as the female Andrew Tate. Who is she giving advice to? If that's how they're building.
I don't see her as an authority. Like, I still see her though as an she says all the time, I'm an entertainer, and I believe that she is an entertainer. Like, that's full entertainment. But she started the women thing. She started the wifey thing, the wife school, and that's because she wants to help women. From what I know, she is. But
are there classes? Are there actually people getting together? Are they actually doing something?
So she's not teaching people how to cook. She has a woman who's a cook, who's a really good cook, who's a wife. Teach the class on how to cook.
Great.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool.
So, but that's femosphere.
It's called outsourcing, is what it is.
Awesome. Yeah, but the biggest thing is I just want to take away from it though is that
she got some cheap labor from Nigeria. To help her. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. We just got canceled off the show.
But the Nigerian food.
The biggest thing though is just like red pill is this. And then manosphere is this, and the femosphere is this. And to me, red pill, because it's just the truth, because red pill is just the truth of reality. That should be for men. Like, can it not be for men and women? Can we not? Now, don't get me wrong. I teach this on my show all the time. We have two completely different dating strategies. But why can't they learn the red pill also?
They do. They should.
Well,
buy my book, read it, learn it. Why do I have to make a specific product to cater to women if
I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
I'm not saying that, but if my obligation is to objective truth and empirical data, if that's the way it is, and I'm God knows I've written the fourth book, the blank slate, if I'm going to say the blank slate is bullshit, if I'm going to say the ghost in the machine is bullshit, if I'm going to say the naturalistic fallacy is bullshit, and then I'm still expected to play along with people who subscribe to those mentalities by writing a book to cater to them, really, what does that make me? Does that make me a hack? Does that make me somebody who's pandering to their?
I don't think you need to write a book.
I think what you may be saying is that there is this different reality from a female's point of view, and he's saying there isn't. It's just one reality.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, no, it is one reality, and what I'm saying is they can. But what I think is in red pill, the men can benefit a lot from red pill knowledge. The reason why we teach men red pill is because their life can get better. And all I'm simply saying is, if I teach women red pill, their life can get better too. Now we understand on a general basis they're more emotional, so they're not going to accept it. I understand my percentage of women that actually take it in is going to be very low. We're talking maybe 5 to 10%, but I don't care about those numbers. Just like how on Fresh and Fit, there's still a ton of incels. There's still a ton of losers, dorks that watch that fucking show. If they have 20,000 people watching, there might be 50 to 75% that are fucking losers, and only some of them are getting their life good, going to the gym, making money, doing all that type of shit. So I don't think I'm going to change every woman, just like how Fresh and Fit's not going to change every man. But it's the whole point of just trying to change a woman or just trying to teach them red pill. And I get shamed for this like crazy, and I know why. Because if girls listen to what I say and I tell them to, keep their legs closed and shit, that's going to make it to where these guys that watch all the red pill shit will get even less pussy than they're already getting if they're an incel. So I understand why they all fucking hate me. I understand why all red pill guys fucking hate me. And because if women learn these facts too, it fucks the game up. Just like how a guy learning game in red pill, he's able to take advantage of certain women if he feels like, if he so chose to use the tool belt like that. And the women, they're scared of women being able to do this. And like even a long time ago, you said like you're on your stream, you were like, I like what Sergio's doing. He's undervalued, or you said something along those terms. And it's just like, I want to know, like you go on a lot of shows, to like help the men, help men. Go on Fresh and Fit because that's going to help blow them up. Go on Saucecast, that's going to help blow them up and help men. Go on whatever, that's going to help blow them up and help men at the end of the day. I want you to come on my show because I want you to help me help women. And I see that like your words and everything in your book, everything Dr. David Buss, all these other people talk about, Marty Hazelton, these women need to hear this thing. Like I need to tell these women, go read Marty Hazelton's book so you can understand your hormones. Like there's nothing wrong with somebody pushing this, but I get tons of shame for it. And I'm not saying that it's you, I'm not saying it's Michael, but it's the whole community that we represent.
You mean shame for trying to teach women?
Yes, a lot of people do not want a guy teaching women this stuff.
So the thing is, I don't think it's, maybe it's not shame for trying to teach women, it's almost like trying to teach, like, well, I was about to say something get me in fucking deep trouble. You're trying to program, you're trying to, they don't accept the programming language. Like you're trying to put one kind of programming language into a machine that doesn't accept the programming language. So
but what if 10% accept it?
Because I just don't.
I understand it's not profitable. I understand it's not profitable.
If 10% accept it, then the issue would be this: Fresh and Fit would have a reunion show every 6 months of all the girls who've changed their lives.
Well, they don't care about it. It's all about how you say the things. Like it's all about how you say it. And if I can say it to where I have a way better percentage return because I've watched their show and I know there are girls that really love the show and go on there all the time. Some of them have cried. Fucking shout out to Zena. Like some girls have literally gone on that show and like been like, y'all really changed my life.
Yeah, have another meltdown. That was some great content.
But like the thing is, like basically when I saw that, I was like, man, that is an example of exactly all that I do. Everything that I do is to try to do what happened to Zena and try to help them. And and the reason why I do all this, Rollo, is because at the end of the day, we're trying to help men, and if we help women, it also helps men too.
All right, let me touch on a couple of points that you said here. So one is you want to help women. First thing is you have to understand that, at least in my wheelhouse, my direct mission is not to help men. It is to help men with the tools so that they can make themselves better men. Okay? So what I do, and whenever I do this, and I know I get myself into a lot of trouble for saying this, but when I start the introductions of my books all the time, I'm not in the business of helping men become better men. I'm in the business of equipping men so that they can become better men or use those tools however they see fit. Okay? That's why people hate me so much, because I don't give them prescriptions. I don't give them 12 rules for life. I don't give them some easy to follow step-by-step guide to go from being a shit-stained 0 to an alpha Chad at a 10, right? I don't do that because that's disingenuous. So if anybody is selling you on some sort of template for a successful life, tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
That's
and
number one.
I've heard you say this 100 times,
So
man.
that's number one. Number two is this: is that in telling people objective facts and objective data, just by doing that, people think that because you're saying the things that you are, that you're trying to convince them to be something, to do something. You cannot go. I'm just doing this show right now. Everyone will say you're an influencer. You have a responsibility. You should be telling these guys the things that fit into my ideological, post office box here. Because if you're not, then you're part of the enemy. Now we go from being objective truth to being moralistic truth to being to ideological to being philosophical, and that's why every time I correct these sons of bitches when they say, "Well, the red pill philosophy is X, the red pill, ideology is this." These guys believe this, and every time I hear that on any show that I'm on, I stop them dead in their tracks. I go, "Let's just stop right now," because the only way that people who have a believer's mindset can interpret data is through the filter of their beliefs. So remember what I said about how you can't tell people just straight up raw data without telling them how to feel about that data. These are people who are going to say that you're telling me this raw data, you're giving me these facts, this empirical knowledge, because you want me to think in a certain way. You want me to behave in a certain way. You want to tell me, like, just by presenting that information, that is now an emotional appeal to them because they don't know how else to interpret it. So that's the way it works.
Oh wow, that's
There's
kind of the way that
there's a
came.
fresh one on that.
Yeah.
But no, so there's like the prescription, or like we always talk about like the.
Well, but let me finish this thought
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quickly here. So you also said something else, and maybe this is what you're going to get to. When you're saying I want to help women, okay, what that is that's giving them a prescription. If it's based on the stuff that we've
If
been
it's based
talking,
off the science, then it's
that's
on
then that's
prescription,
fine.
right?
That's-
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not necessarily. No, it is a prescription. If I were to do the same thing and I were to say, okay, well, here's what happens in our ancestral past 100,000 years ago. This is why the machine hasn't changed. Yada yada yada. Just by saying that, it sounds like I'm giving a prescription. My intent is not to give people a prescription because there's no paint by numbers for your life, okay? You get to, it's a blank canvas and you get to put whatever it is that you want on there. I'm gonna provide you with the paints and the paintbrushes and the easel and all the tools that you need to paint the picture that is your life. But other people want to have a paint by number. So they want to have like all these little lines drawn out, and you put yellow in number 12, and you put green in number 8, and you put red and all this stuff. And at the end of it, you got this lovely picture of cherry blossoms or some shit, right? That you painted, but you didn't paint it.
Yeah.
You just colored it in. You just filled it in. And so I'm not the guy that's going to give you the fill it in. I'm not going to give you the paint by numbers. There's plenty of if that's what you need. If you're a sheep in search of a shepherd, there's plenty of shepherds out there.
Yeah, there's tons of them.
plenty of gurus who really want to turn a buck on it and sort of be your self-help. I mean, if you look at social media for women right now is basically self-help. You want to know why it's the largest section in Barnes and Noble for, if you're going to buy a book in psychology, the largest section is self-help. It's because everybody wants to have somebody tell them or give them permission to do the shit that they already want to fucking do.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Now, number two is when you do that, let's just say you're going to take a completely objective approach to telling women, here's how women's nature actually is. That is fucking offensive. I went on Dr. Phil, and the one last parting shot that was Robin McGraw, his wife, had to say was, "I don't think anyone can know what women's real nature is. They're just this enigmatic mystery and how dare any man try to presume that he could ever understand the fantastic force of nature that is women's feminine mystique, and any guy that's telling you that is just full of shit because we're all special snowflakes and everybody's different, right?" So that right there, when I remember, they got to get that parting shot in there because they have to clean up the mess that I've created when I went on that show by saying, here's women's nature. Here's how it is. And you guys don't have any counter argument to that except for an emotional appeal after that. And that's what you will run into when you try to create sort of this the self-help program for women. Here's how you come and be a red pill woman, right? What you're going to run into eventually is you're going to speak some sort of unflattering truth about women's nature, And they will, initially they'll accept it, or they'll reject it out of hand, depending on like how resistant they happen to be to it. But the problem is, comes back to why I always tell guys never to talk about the red pill. If you have a woman that you're with, guys always say, well, should I tell her that I'm a red pill guy? No, you shouldn't, because women do not want to be told about the game that they're playing. They want to play the fucking game itself.
Yeah, don't ruin
because
it.
Because they're applying an emotional, they're prioritizing emotionalism before rationalism. So they want to know that you just get it. A guy who talks about this stuff, a guy who makes Excel spreadsheets about like why some chicks rejected him and some didn't, he's trying to use this deductive logic to get a girlfriend, that makes women want to punch them in the face. Because if they're saying, look, honey, I made this Excel spreadsheet of all these reasons why you should marry me, fuck me, breed with me, and have, live happily ever after with me, they will want to punch that guy in the face, because what you're trying to do is use logic to convince them to behave, to select them, and to say, well, your hypergamy is bullshit. I know you want to fuck the hot guy in the foam cannon party, but you because you have this hot arousal and feeling for him, but you don't for me, even though I would be in the long term the best bet for you. You will never win that argument, because you're trying to win an emotional argument. And this is the long and the short of all this. You're trying to win an emotional argument with empirical data. With women.
No, a good point, but
I'm not interested in my girlfriend because she understands the red pill stuff. You understand? Like that's kind of the reason why it doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Oh no, I completely agree with you. Like I know all about the gamma male stuff. I've literally, like I told you, bro, I've listened to every one of your streams. Everything that you're saying, man. Sometimes you're just preaching to the choir. Like I know exactly what you're gonna say. And the thing is though, like let me go back to like the prescription thing. Is MOA a prescription? Do you have things in MOA that are considered? Hold on. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, it is. It is.
But it's not a red pill prescription.
But there's advertently and there's inadvertently. You inadvertently are giving prescriptions to men because you push MOA. Okay, and because there is things in MOA that are prescriptions for guys. This is, if you do this, you're going to be successful in this. If you do that, the bottom line is we are all giving out prescriptions all the time because we are in a hierarchy. This is a free market economy, and what it truly shows is whoever has the best prescription wins the game. It's got to make the most money. Michael's killing it right now because he has some amazing prescriptions compared to all the other people in the fucking red pill sphere.
Prescriptions work.
Well, like the bottom line is though is that we're all giving prescriptions and we're all competing in the free marketplace. There is a hierarchy of who has the best prescriptions. There is always going to be this hierarchy because we live in a free market economy, and as men, we are always going to compete in this hierarchy. We are always going to disagree on these things. I'm going to say my mentorship is better because of X, and you're going to say yours is better for Y. But we're both giving prescriptions, and you support his. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
So in the case, first off, of Men of Action, it's not a red pill prescription. Like for me,
I don't think it is a red pill prescription. I'm just saying it is a prescription though, and men in the manosphere give out prescriptions.
I recommend everyone read the E-Myth Revisited and Managing Oneself by Peter F. Drucker. That's not red pill stuff. So partially, yes, it's overall male improvement. In fact, we avoid dating in the program, even though you're surrounded by beautiful women all the time. The thing though is what we do is, like what you said before, we try to base it in evolutionary psychology. So there's nothing that we say that would go against what Dr. Buss.
It's the smartest thing by science standards, yes.
Correct. But the thing, going back to your prescription thing, I'm also not as big as Zerka, Sneeko, Myron and Fresh, or even like Adam Sosnick, and they're not specifically doing, Myron obviously is doing a lot of prescription stuff, they are, but like they're not popular because of their prescriptions, they're popular because of the crazy stuff that they do online.
Descriptions, especially
but it's not even that, it's like the idea of the man and woman on a panel where there's more women than men, and then women are then held accountable. The audience is 95% men, and they want to see blood.
They want to live vicariously.
Yeah, this is not prescription or description. They want to see blood. And, and if I were to say, like, I had Rich Sheffrin on my show yesterday on my podcast. Rich Sheffrin has consulted on so many 9-figure companies. He invented the automated webinar and was one of the first people to use a VSL in history. Okay, this guy could make you $50 million if you listen to him. Nobody watched the show. If I made a video right now and I hit up my guys and I was like, this is the title of the video, I don't even care what it is. Delusional modern woman 304 gets destroyed by red pill. It doesn't matter if there's no women in the thing. 50,000 views. Okay,
I A/B tested that one time too. Like if you use modern woman in a title, you're gonna go up. If you use destroyed or heated debate or emergency pot, like there's certain like combinations of words that are gonna always play really well. Well,
No,
are you
just
finished?
I also want to bring up the gamma male thing really quick too. Go ahead, Michael.
I thought you said chamomile for a second. You're saying gamma male.
Yeah, gamma male. My bad.
So-
But no, so like I love Voxversity. Like I know you know about Vox. Like I've heard you talk about it
Good
a
friends
lot.
with, still am with
Yeah,
Vox Day.
yeah. So like I really like his videos. And the thing is, you're completely correct. It is such a gamma male tendency to want to teach women these things or even say it. It's
Yeah.
huge gamma male. The difference is though, there's a way you say it. If you say things a certain way, you can say things with Riz. You could teach
don't-
because the thing is, bro.
Actually,
I know for a
no,
fact.
they're not.
I know for a fact you can say these things in a certain way that can make a woman be turned on by you because intelligence does turn on some women.
Come on. Those are two different things. So like when we do Access Vegas, so it's an example of like, do you remember when Savannah Storm was sitting across from me and she goes, I am a sapiosexual. Do you remember
Yes,
this?
yes, yeah.
Okay, so Savannah Storm.
Or if they
Right.
drop in like astrology or
Yes.
tarot cards.
So
or something.
Savannah Storm, who I'm good friends with, and this is the reason why I disagree with what you're saying. I do care about Savannah Storm as a friend. I know a lot of people don't think we can be platonic friends. We are. But Savannah Storm is a successful real estate agent who fucks her boyfriend on Brazzers and then tells us that she wants a sapiosexual, and then I look at her and I'm like, your last two boyfriends are probably the best looking VIP host in Las Vegas, and then the lead stripper for Thunder from Down Under, Chippendales. Like when you go to the Rio, there's a picture of a guy holding his hand out to pull you in to. It's him. That's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
That she fucks on Brazzers, and she's telling me she's a sapiosexual.
Well, I'm not going to
No,
argue.
hold on.
Those women are definitely not
but it's
sapiosexuals, bro.
But it's not those women. That's the problem. This
You
is
have
what-
a special type of women on your show, bro.
I disagree.
You do. Yes,
I-
you do,
no, no,
bro.
I
Yes, you
think-
do. That's
I
one of my
dis-
big arguments for
I
today, too.
I disagree, and the reason why is because we consistently look for a Katie Moore or the Lieutenant Amy, or we always try to get two. Like I do. I don't know if
What's
you know
the
this.
youngest girl you've had on the show?
Probably Kylie.
21.
Yeah,
21, and
Kylie
like-
and Maya.
Maya's 21.
Yeah, but there's several girls that are in their 40s. We try to split married, not married.
Yeah.
We try to split only. There's always fewer than half the girls have OnlyFans, except for our first episode. Fewer than half the girls have OnlyFans. We look for at least 2 master's degrees. I look for at least 2 girls that are married. I look for like 1 or 2 girls that have kids. You'll notice that I actually do look for a distribution. The difference is, and this is the argument I keep getting, it's no, bro, it's those girls. I will say to an extent with what Myron and Fresh have to deal with because they have to do 3 shows a week and you have to repeat, and those girls are looking for clout for sure. A bunch of the girls that come on our show aren't even looking for clout. They have no idea about it. They're legitimately
They
friends
want
of
to be
mine.
on our
But
show
like- but
because
like-
they saw some other
Yeah,
bitches.
because-
So like you
No,
cannot
it's-
compare though. You cannot in good faith compare me recruiting women that are straight up normal women that
Yeah.
I don't pay, just literally mass DMing
We don't
tons
pay
of
them.
fucking
We do the
women.
same thing.
I know, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is you are a strip club manager, bro. You're very good friends with a lot of women
Mm-hmm.
that most guys would have never had the opportunity with because of your job. So because of that and the women that you're able to bring on,
Mm-hmm.
those are not normal women. And I get that. I hate this about Fresh and Fit
what's
too.
normal?
Because here's the thing. I've even heard you say this multiple times where you're like, where you'll bring up, oh, they've had on 1,000 blah, blah, blah amount of girls and they're all this. The thing is, my girlfriend and every girl I've ever even dated and a lot of the women that I know would never even go to Miami on a trip. So the fact that they're like, oh, but there's all these women from all these other states, the type of women that live in Miami, the type of women that go to Miami are a type of woman. And that's not all.
There are girls that
it's a
come on
very,
our, there's girls that come on our show that would never go on to Miami on
So
the trip.
can I
also.
interject
ahead.
here
Yeah.
real quick because I have this handy here. Thank you, Big Mo, because he updates me on this all the time. On Fresh and Fit, 2,132 female guests as of May 15th. Ages 18 to 46, so that's a pretty good demographic. That would be a demographic you could do a psychological study from.
I agree.
From 45 U.S. states, 61 different countries, with 181 different job titles, including unemployment, and only 159 Frank Castles out of 21.
I could destroy this whole argument, bro. I could literally.
But I believe it's a combined 60,000 body count. Is that correct? Is it Big
Yeah,
Mo? Big Mo,
somebody went and did that.
Big Mo, could you update on that? I think it's a 60,000 body count.
I can body this whole argument
Yeah.
though. It's completely false. It's completely false. It's the same way why guys are like all women are hoes. No, I'll explain to you why it's completely false. It's the exact same reason why all guys are always like all women are hoes. All women are hoes. I have tons of guys that I have to help all the time, and they think all women are hoes, and I have to say, hey, no, go here, go do do this. Don't date here. Don't use dating apps. And when they do these certain things, they find good women, okay? The problem is there's a bubble of people in relationships that are women, and then there's the single girls. When the bubble girls that get out of the relationship bubble, they get grabbed really quick. If they're a relationship girl,
agreed. Yeah.
And so the thing is, the type of girls that live in Miami, the type of girls that go on trips to Miami are a certain type of hoe. And those girls, yes, I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying in Dallas,
So you're
Texas,
saying 2132 as of May they're all hoes.
no, I'm saying there's a type of girl. This is very simple. There's a type of girl that stays single, and there's also a type of girl that lives in Vegas, that lives in Miami, that wants to live in major cities and like have clout or be OnlyFans girls. And what I'm saying is in Miami, there's a concentration of that. And the types of girls that travel to Miami are hoes. Because like I said, I've had multiple girlfriends who have never gone to Miami in their life. You can find tons of young women that aren't hoes and haven't done that. So when
Sounds very anecdotal, Sergio.
well, it's all, but no. The reason why I bring this up is because it's always all women are hoes, or the women in Miami are just like the women across the country.
We're not saying they're hoes, but like, here's the thing, right? If when you look at, if you've been on one of my calls, one of the things you will notice that is stunning. So we'll go on Zoom and you can show 49 people at once. The distribution of ethnicities is always shocking to me. There are just as many black people as there are Asian people, as there are white people. I have clients in China, I have clients in France, and the reason, and I look at the guys and I always show them and I was like, guys, there was no effort on our part to normally distribute you guys, none. You are distributed, why? Because the struggles that we see as men are ubiquitous amongst Homo sapiens, and the same thing with women. My point is, evolutionary psychology is the same. The difference is the stimulus. I don't think they're, like I've said this before, and I don't know if you agree with this. I think what causes a woman to have a higher body count is not, it could something to do with their upbringing and genetics, but I actually think it has a lot to do with how many high status males is she around growing up.
Yeah.
Meaning a girl with a low body count is all of a sudden living on Charing Cross at the Playboy Mansion, and every week she's meeting a member of Metallica, and then like normally this girl would have had a 3 body count, but because she lives at the Playboy Mansion, it goes up higher. So is she a hoe, or is the stimulus that she's exposed to
I
changing
shouldn't have
that?
used the word hoe because the thing is, it's not.
That's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
I shouldn't have used that word, but like the reality is, it's just those type of girls. Like because remember, like a girl can go and do all these things, go on yachts and do all this stuff, and maybe she has a 3 body count. So I'm not going to sit here and say hoes. I'm just saying there's a certain type of woman that wants validation from men in all types of ways, and the type of woman that goes to Miami is usually the type of girl that is wanting that type of
You
validation.
came from Texas, right?
Yeah,
You flew
I'm
in here
Dallas.
today from Texas?
Yeah, from Dallas.
On your way out of the TSA in Texas, and you were going from TSA to the gate, did you look around you and see the people who are walking by you in the airport?
Yeah.
I do the same thing. In fact, when you leave, when you go through Vegas and you get through TSA, just put your phone away and walk from TSA to whatever gate you happen to be at, and people watch. That's normal. Those are normal people. The normal woman right now is 5'8", 5'7", and 180 pounds.
Yeah.
She is a beach ball. Okay. So keep that in mind. I also have to put myself, in fact, it was the first thing that I said when we started working together. Like I think it was after the first time we went to Zook, or maybe a second time. And I said, we have to remember, we have to bear in mind, I don't know if you remember me telling you this, we have to bear in mind that we are in a frame of reference right now that most guys will never have. That doesn't mean that what we're saying to them, to these women who, and by the way, we want high caliber women. We're in Vegas. That's what's expected here. So one of the number one things, and that's why I ask you, what is a normal woman? Because I have been asking that question since October of last year when we started this show. Because every goddamn troll in the chat says, when are you going to get more normal women on there? When are you going to, like these girls, they're all fake. They've got Kardashian lips, they've got plastic tits, they've got, Brazilian butt lifts. Yeah. Just look at them. They're all pros and everything like that. And I'm like,
trust me, they don't want normal. They don't watch my show. They don't want normal.
That's the thing is, like, first of all, the guys who are watching these shows, they don't want normal.
You're right. Okay? Yeah, 1000%.
But what we're saying is applicable to the chick that's here in Las Vegas, as well as a girl who's like married to the guy who runs a tractor in the Midwest in Oklahoma.
I'll agree with that. 1000%.
And that's another thing I've brought up over and over again, not just about women, but the fact that the red pill has to be applicable to everybody. It's for the everyman, or it's for no one.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be equally applicable to the guy who's sitting on a tractor in Oklahoma, as well as the guy who's draped across a Lamborghini in Miami.
Or the woman that lives in a shack, or the woman that's a rich.
But
I think it's more constructive for us to be better and then attract a lot of women and then pick the one with the fewest red flags, because the thing about the hoes or whatever, like there's no way the audience, normal men, no offense to you guys, normal dudes do not comment on YouTube videos. I'm sorry to piss you guys off. Like I talked to Adam Sosnick for half an hour last night. I was like, Adam, have you ever commented on a YouTube video? And he's like, before I started on YouTube, I never did. So we can't look at that also as a normal distribution. The other thing is we've had two former Miss Nevadas on our show, Lisa Song Sutton and Tiana Jacqueline, Miss Nevadas. Okay, and they don't have a ton of plastic surgery, and neither does Maya, and neither does fucking Katie Moore, and my girlfriend, other than her boob job, has zero.
I'm pretty sure mine has a boob job.
No, mine has a boob job.
Other than that, she
by the way, boob jobs don't count. Boob jobs are perfect.
Yeah.
Boob jobs are incredible.
We love them.
Boob jobs are incredible.
Yes,
Right, anyway.
cosmetic surgeons, if you want to sponsor the show,
Yeah, for sure.
call
But
me.
the point is, even with that, we get Tiana Jacqueline's a ran through hoe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lisa Song Sutton, why doesn't she shut up? Well, she makes like fucking 8 figures a year flipping real estate, and she was Miss Nevada, and she's a practicing attorney, and that is still not good enough for you. So it's like the problem is
There's no way to win.
there's no way to win this.
You
so
can't
like
satisfy
it's like debating flat earthers. There's no way to win. Their audience is still going to tell you that you lost.
Oh yeah, and like just to kind of define what I was saying, like what I'm saying by normal is like a girl that hasn't been ruined yet. Like what I like to say is that it takes to it. Like when I coach guys and stuff like that, when I give out my prescriptions, I don't like them going over a certain age on women because those women are usually devoted to their job, had too much sex. There's usually some type of trauma that comes along with her age. Because I've always had young women, and I've found this really big pattern where it's like, oh, if they're always within this age bracket, I get to mold them, and they're not already molded. So like I'm just saying, like normal is more the girls that just haven't been ruined yet. Like and I'm saying that we can find those girls. Every guy has the opportunity to get one of those after their first or second relationship out of high school, whenever they first get back into the dating market. But a lot of guys are listening to Myron saying get 50 bodies or something. They might meet that really good girl. She got out of her first relationship. She's 21 years old. She's actually a good girl. But Myron's like, no, you need to get 50 bodies, and he's only on 14. So you're number 15 girl, and get the fuck out of here.
So then what you're describing is a prescription. Get 50 body counts, and then you get a 50 body count. If that's the case, then I still haven't achieved that record number because my body count's only 41.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's funny is when I was working with Pat Campbell, for example, I remember once I was on his terrestrial radio show, and he had asked me like just point blank, what is your body count, right? And so I said something like 41, 42, right? And every woman in the radio studio, you could hear this collective gasp behind. Like they thought I was a man whore because I had a 40 plus body count, right? But then I got to go listen to some dude who tells me he's got 1,600, body and for transsexuals on his as part of his number, and then people shouldn't listen to me because I haven't quite measured up to that standard.
To that 1,400.
So what's the litmus test? What's the balance? Where do you go? Is there a number? And the problem is now you're running into why I don't do prescriptions.
Yeah.
I'm Rollo fucking Tomassi. My body count is 41. Okay. According to Myron's prescription, I'm still a beta male blue pill chump because I haven't been able to sort of crack. Unless you're going to count blowjobs, because apparently the CDC says if you get oral sex, that ups your number.
I wasn't trying to bring Myron up.
I know that's a joke, but here's the thing: is like if I say, okay, well, having penetrative sex with women, that's going to be one number. If I'm getting a Hummer, well, gosh, I spent a lot of time in Hollywood, my Rockstar 20, so maybe I got to reassess that, right? But the very fact that that's even funny, or I have to reassess that, shows you just how subjective and relative people's prescriptions are. So if you're going to be a Myron Gaines man, then maybe you have to at least get 50 body count before you can really have an objective relative understanding of the quality of a woman. I've said this, and it's in my first book, is spin plates, date non-exclusively, and if you have a rotation of 3 or 4 women, most guys are never going to be able to do that, or they wouldn't even consider it because it's just something that goes against their convictions.
Or it's not going to be all at the same time. It's going to be falling off.
And it's you also hear people who say, well, you got to spam approaches. It's just like numbers, right? They'll make machines on Tinder so that it'll actually literally a finger will swipe through them because it's just this mass production of trying to get hits from women. And I'm saying, I've said this. I put this in my 5th book. I was just talking about it on one of the class videos that I was doing yesterday. It's not about numbers. It's about persistence. It's about learning from your experiences from making those approaches. So I've always said, if you're going to make approaches at all, do 1 per week with one single woman, because most guys at the end of a year you've got 52 approaches. 52
Such
is
a low number.
way more, but way more than the average normal guy will do in a fucking lifetime.
So do this. What is the point you're trying to make? The evidence that you're trying to put forth towards this point? Because I understand your point is that it's not a normal distribution of women, and like, to be fair, I only know really hot girls.
What I'm saying is there's a perception issue going on. There's a huge perception issue going on.
Well,
So the guys that are
what does it matter?
single,
We can't win.
the problem is these guys though, they complain about women being hoes. Like we see this all the time, and they're giving out prescriptive, or anybody says use dating apps. I'm completely against dating apps. Completely against them. They're only for hooking up. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a sister who has an amazing.
Jody got married. Remember?
Yeah.
Or
No,
last year, that Playboy model.
Don't get me
Jody.
wrong. Like I said, I have a sister who's literally married because of a dating app. So I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm going to say on a general basis, 51%, 60%, it's not going to work. And the guys can go build real connect. If these guys get off their fucking phones and they go live in real life and they take my prescription and they go where I tell them to go and they do the things I tell them to do, they're going to have a way better time, and they're actually going to learn something instead of sitting there and sending 1,000 messages to girls. There's nothing good about sticking to technology on something that is all natural and all real. And that, like, my whole point is that if these guys go into real life and get off the dating apps and stop going to clubs, they will stop running into this perception of hoes and there are these perception of these women that need all this validation. If you go to certain places, you can find young women that don't want that validation yet.
What are those places?
I don't give it out for free. I'm about to have a test.
Wait, hold on,
Chat.
You just scared me. I can't go to clubs no more. What are you talking
No,
about?
well,
I'm so excited.
Bible study.
I want to see. I want to see dead mouth.
Clubs. No. It's none of those, and that's why I love
College
my
campus.
No, it's none of those. But
Workplace,
like, it's really
the
sad
beach.
because and if, y'all can all think about it. Last time they put it in chat on Valuetainment because somebody started thinking about it and really figured it out. But if you think about it long enough, because the thing is, all these girls, I've talked to you about this. There's a fuck girl tier list, and at the top of the fuck girl tier list is Michael's friends. No, just kidding. But like the OnlyFans girls are at the very top of a fuck girl tier list. It's the S tier. These girls are such fuck girls. You do not want to fuck. If you're a normal guy with 5 body count, this girl is gonna finesse the fuck out of you. She knows so much about soul. She has so much.
Have a conversation with.
Yeah. But say he did message her and she wanted $1,000. Like she can get it out of him because she's had so much social experience.
Makes her like a sugar baby.
No. Well, I'm just explaining really quick. It all goes back to validation. Okay, when I talk about this tier list. So these girls at the very top of this tier
I
list.
think it's more about transaction, but.
Yeah, but whenever you're a girl with 100,000 followers, or you're making so much money, you're getting so many DMs, no guy can replace that level of validation. There's not a guy in the world that can give you that amount of.
There's
energy.
a way. There's a way.
There's a way.
The way is through massive pre-selection. Like it is.
Oh yeah, through massive. Yeah, if you were the guy that 100 other women wanted, fucking for sure.
But, I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't even have to be wanted. It's like because my guys in my program, they have the guest list to every big party in the city. They get the validation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but see,
my clients last night just took 2 Playboy models to EBC because I knew the girls. I hooked them up with my clients, and then they went in there. There was no money transacted. But the problem is we can there is a way for us to be the bigger, better deal. Now, for a lot of guys, they're like, well, I don't want to do that. No, for me, I'm like Caleb from the Old Testament, from Abraham. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want the big grapes. Mm-hmm. I'm ambitious. What you're saying is correct, but I actually still want to date insanely hot women.
And I hugely disagree with what you chase. I don't like girls that have anything done. I like all natural. I push all natural in everything in my life. Okay.
At some point, those implants were made by something on Earth. Am I wrong?
Well,
plastic comes from somewhere.
Yeah, it does.
I love it when I get this one too, because people go, I don't like plastic tits. That's a red
no,
flag. She's out of here.
But
here's the thing: is most guys, if you're born in Gen X, if you're born in the last 2 generations, you probably don't even know what a natural breast looks like, unless you see some sort of National Geographic, study of women in the tropics of Africa or something like that.
Those
women
women
don't even know what
red,
it looks like.
But those women, those women are red flags. I don't care what anybody says. I would never date a girl like that ever. A girl over 25, having tit jobs, likes validation, has an Instagram with 10, 20,000 followers.
Bro, do you want us to set you
dude,
up?
No, for real. I think that those girls who need that level of validation, or they have all that attention coming in, those are the last girls you want to be with. Why would you want to be in a relationship with a girl that wants attention from other people?
No offense, Sergio, but the idea you wouldn't be in a relationship with Maya or fucking is really
dead ass, bro. I have literally turned Michael. I have turned down so many girls.
Masha didn't want to go out with him, but he'd be like, no, Michael, I'm not going to do that because I have standards.
Michael, would I fuck a hoe? Would I fuck a hoe? Yes. Would I be in a relationship with one or even try to date her? Fuck no.
I think you might have some difficulty.
No, the thing is, I would never want to be in a relationship.
The thing is, okay, so just so we're clear, Kylie only has a boob job because she had breast cancer. Kylie was 20 when I met her, and she's been with very few people. And so that's why I'm with her. But
you're a high status guy who was able to use pre-selection to prove or to pick the absolute best
she
one.
hates my pre-selection.
But like
She
most,
hates that I'm with
but
other
most
people.
guys can't do that. They're just
Yeah.
gonna simp for that type of girl, and then they get fucked over. Okay, that like now if you're that guy or if you're that guy, totally go for those girls. Okay, I got tons of guys, tons of friends in my city
Yeah.
who are those guys that wear all Versace, all the money stuff, and they love being with the girl with the big lips and the big tits and the big ass, and they love that, and that's fine.
Just the tits. The rest
Yeah.
of it, I don't need.
Well,
to do
I
about.
know you're
Just
not
boob
involved.
jobs.
But
Yes.
like I see that dynamic, and it's like, you know what, y'all can go do that. That's cute. That's y'all's relationship. I would never fucking want that though, ever. And I don't want any guy to ever end up with one of those girls because they're fucking horrible. Now you might have like a good one, and you can pick out a good one because you can use pre-selection to pick between 100 different girls. But most of these guys who simp for these fucking girls with these OnlyFans or these Instagram accounts and shit,
Did you
they're
realize
fucking
that
losers.
the average guy doesn't actually vet for a woman? He tends to just get with the girl that happens to be the right
first
place.
one
Well, that's
sex.
why I teach pre-selection too, Michael.
Yeah.
That's why I also teach
And you
pre-selection, but
realize
I
that-
teach it through a
you
whole different
realize
way
that
than you do.
Because of that, that's why we see what the divorce rate is right now. That's why we see men making very bad decisions because they don't vet, because they don't have any.
Or they're choosing
have
over
any-
25 OnlyFans or Instagram models.
they're
Like, it's not going to work.
Trust me. That again, let's do the experiment. Walking from TSA to your gate. Tell me how many of those women. Like count on your hand. Maybe make a mental note. Right. How many women do you think going from TSA to your gate? How many of them could possibly make money on OnlyFans?
I don't know.
Okay, so because your normal woman looks like those chicks that you're gonna pass.
Yeah,
They're
she could
overweight.
definitely make money, too.
75% of the population is overweight. 40% of women are morbidly obese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the United States, anyways. I probably worse in I don't know, London, but the point of this is that when you come up with saying, well, I only want normal girls, I have more respect for myself.
Natural
than
normal.
over- Yeah, natural women. The natural women you're talking about are the girls you're going to see from TSA going to your gate, right? You don't want to get with a single one of those girls. I guarantee it. Okay. So, and how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so you're 32 years old. So you're kind of like getting into like you're looking at the long term. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a long term?
I've been with her for 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. Does she live with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is that. The other part of this is that whenever I have dealt with people talking about, we want normal girls, we want normal this, we want normal, I always ask them, I say, show me a picture of a normal girl. Show me a picture of the ideal chick that you want to get with. I'm still waiting on that fucking picture. Nobody, for all the people who have tried to send me stuff or tried to tell me that we don't get normal girls on the show or Fresh and Fit doesn't have normal girls, I even had to convince like Jedediah Bila of all people, saying like, look, here's the demographics. We keep these right. We have the stats. We have the tracked. Who they
perception
are.
bias.
Okay. We can also say this. For instance, I was on a show with Myron and Fresh, and I was sitting. It was one of the earlier shows, and I was sitting next to this girl who was like 19 years old, and they were going and asking the body count question, and she says, "Oh, I have 15 body count," and she's 19 years old. That's what's the average for people?
Should only be six.
Like
Yeah,
6,
yeah,
7.
six.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. So I'm like, let's stand in next to this girl, and she's already made her prerequisite 6, and then some, right? And she's having more sex than most likely most of the guys that she knows who are 19 years old.
Where was
as
it?
well.
Where was this?
It's on Fresh and Fit.
It's on Fresh and Fit.
And I was like, okay, so I can understand that if in that instance, if I were just to take that experience and say, oh well, all women are just bitches and hoes, they're just tricks and hoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could draw on if that's where I was at, and my mentality was not that of a 50-year-old man and that of like a 19-year-old guy, then yeah, I could totally understand. I can relate, and you're right. I'll meet you halfway here. You are correct that there are a lot of guys who go and will take this and they live vicariously through these shows, through hell, even Access Vegas. Fresh and Fit, because they have this mentality. It's like the NASCAR or racing, right? They're not there to see who wins the race. They're there to see the car crash. When Kevin Samuels was very, very popular, it wasn't because he was telling these bitches what they wanted to say. So, I mean, they did, but they wanted him to get her.
Roast her.
Get her. It's bread,
Blood
and
sport, yeah.
bread and circuses, right? And so we are on Access Vegas, and we don't kick girls off as a policy, but our mission is not to kick women off the show. But when we actually have that conversation and we're trying to win the race instead of create a car crash on the show, people say we go soft on them. They think that we are the ones that are soft. So yes, in a way, you're correct about the fact that there's certainly a demographic of guys who watch this and have that perception. Again, if we're going to use them as an isolated sort of, this is a subgroup of like the normal guys. Do normal guys do that? I don't think so. Again, walk through the airport and count how many of those guys do you think will be watching me or Mike or Fresh and Fit, or who will be a part of that. I get recognized occasionally in Reno, like once or twice in Reno. I walk through Las Vegas, I get recognized quite a bit. Or if I go through Dallas or Dallas airport or Denver, or I go to Miami, I'm gonna get. But I got to remember, it's a small fraction of the overall population of the world right now. So bear that in mind when you're making these assessments. The other thing is that when you get to a point of being in this space for as long as like I've been married for today, as a matter of fact, 27 years. Okay, so when I go and I start talking about things, people think I'm anti-marriage because I have been married for as long as I have. And how can he possibly say this? Don't listen to anything Rollo says. He's married. And then I've got the people on TradCon side who said, well, Rollo's red pill and he tells you to avoid marriage and get a vasectomy and do all this other bullshit, right? So therefore, I don't win on either side because I'm right in the middle. I'm the one who's talking objective truth. So I would say, look, it seems the way we do marriage right now, and me being in a successful marriage for 27 years with a woman that I very much love and still have great sex with, right? After all of that, I'm still saying marriage, the way we do it now, is a bad idea for guys because it's a downside risk for guys.
I agree with you on that.
Before you might say, I'm in love with her, I'm going to get married, I want to have babies, okay, that's fine. Or my religion says I'm supposed to do this, okay, good. But just go in with both your fucking eyes open. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do. In fact, that's my whole point is I'm not trying to tell guys what to do. I'm just saying, like, here's the information. Use this as actionable information and make educated decisions for yourself. Now, is that what's happening on Fresh and Fit? Is that what's happening on whatever? Is that what's happening on these other? No, those are entertainment fucking programs. Are they relating some of this, even Adam Sosnick, are they relating red pill facts and figures and things like that? Yes, but they're also saying, well, can you believe what happened to Kiki Palmer today? Can you believe what happened with, they want Margot Robbie to be Barbie? That's like red meat for those guys. Rather than, it's like sizzle and steak. That's all sizzle. There's no fucking steak there. So the problem that I see right now with most of quote unquote your red pill influencers is that it's all sizzle and no fucking steak. They know how to provoke. They know the questions to ask. They know the topics to hit on. They want to hit like you want to know why Pearl is the female Andrew Tate? It's because she quotes stats that we come up with all the fucking time and misquotes them, and then you get like somebody like Piers Morgan brings on some rabid feminist to call her on a point that she is unable to defend. She has no idea how to do that because she's not about it. She's an entertainer. She's not red pill.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the overall, the difference between, say, red pill theory and game as a practice, those are two different things. And the problem is that people try to take red pill theory or they try to take the empirical side of red pill and turn it into a fucking game show. They try to make it Maury Povich. They try to take the most aggravating parts of that. And by the way, there are some very positive aspects and very flattering aspects of female nature. This great book I'm reading right now is called Positive Evolutionary Psychology, and I'll put the Amazon link in there. But it's really great because it's meant to focus, because evolutionary psychology gets a very bad rap because it's always talking about war brides, it's talking about alpha widows, it's talking about hypergamy in the sense that it's alpha.
I loved what God's thought said about all
kind of
that.
Stuff. Yeah, fantastic. But I think people really resist that. First of all, because it says evolution in the name, but it's also it can be pretty ugly. It can be pretty unflattering. So for instance, when a alpha male gorilla or chimp or whatever deposes the former alpha that was leader of the pack or whatever, the first impulse of that primate is to kill off the offspring of all the rival alpha that he either killed or ran off, right? Same thing happens with lions and wolves and stuff like that as well. There's a tendency for the new alpha to go in and kill off all of the offspring there. And then we can talk about the evolutionary reasons for that, the latent purposes for all of that when it comes down to just raw, the mathematics of DNA, right? And then as a result of that, the women or the females in that troop or in that pack or whatever, it sends them into estrus so that they can have babies again. That sounds pretty fucked up when it comes to like human beings. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this
Nature's
happened.
weird, yeah.
But we also can relate that to things like, I'm just giving you an example here. We can relate that to things where if a woman divorces the biological father of her children, and brings another man into that living situation, it is like 8 to 10 times more likely that that child will either be killed or be a subject of abuse by the non-biological new boyfriend. That's pretty ugly. Women don't want to fucking hear that. You can't sugarcoat that shit, and it goes right back to the primate thing where they kill off the offspring. Well, they can't actually kill the offspring, but they can abuse the fuck out of that offspring, right? So when you bring up an unflattering truth about women, something like that, and they don't have any counter argument to it, that's when we have to question the motives of the person relating that to. And that comes back to your point of tone. I cannot, like, the argument you just gave me is exactly what I would expect from a chick. Because I've heard this
change your tone.
over and over.
I don't think it's tone, bro. Have you ever heard me yell on my show? It's not tone.
No,
it's not
but
tone.
the thing is, like, you could say it in a different way. You can
Yeah,
make
but
it more
say it in-
palatable.
You can riz it, bro.
Well,
I'm telling you, you can talk it with
let's
riz.
go back to the beginning.
But you can't riz it.
You
That's
can't.
the
You
problem.
can.
The
Tell
point
me you
is,
can.
the point is, no one is. Remember, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Maybe if you're hearing this, don't listen to me.
Close your
A lot of the girls in the first, especially the first part of the show, I was seeing off camera. Okay, I know their lives intimately. And no one was nicer and more political about this shit than me. I was getting made fun of all the time. But in exchange for that, we knew truths about these girls that Myron and Fresh don't know about those girls. Like, girls will say body count, and I actually know, I know all of your
For a
boyfriends.
fact, yes.
I know who you were dating. So for me, it was a little bit more scientific when we would have these discussions. And even with that, they don't change behavior. They can't. You're telling a vampire to, hey, listen, the problems with
I
drinking
agree.
blood.
I agree. It's
There's-
just-
they want to play the game and not be told that they are playing a game. It
Yes.
goes back to, it's the observer effect, which is observing a process changes the process. If I go, and like you said, if I go on and say, okay, ladies, here's the red pill. I'm writing a book or whatever it is. Here's the ladies' red pill kind of thing. The very act that I'm handing them the book is observing the process.
And there's two things before, because the thing we say, people say in red pill, you can't teach the deer how to catch the deer. You can't ask the deer how to catch the deer. But you're not even trying to do that. You're trying to legitimately help them. And there's only one thing I say to women to help them. That's it. If a man wants to marry you, he asks you to marry him. If a man wants to have sex with, if a man is not having sex with you, it's because he doesn't want to have sex with you. We're very simple, right? If you just pay attention to a man's actions, that's it. If he has a daughter, if I had a daughter and I was like talking to my daughter and my daughter was like, well, he says we're going to get married, but it's been like 2 years. I'd be like, then take all the words out and then tell me what happened. It's like, we've been going out 2 years and he hasn't asked me to marry him. Got it. That's the truth. That's the only thing you can really tell women with men, because her physical attractiveness, a dating coach for a woman is called a personal trainer. Sorry, I know that's really sexist.
No, it's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
But like, when you see the women on my show that are attractive, they're not attractive because they understand evolutionary psychology. Just like the men who I've seen, the reason why I got really good with women was not because I followed pickup artists. It was because I lived in Atlanta in 2007 and watched these male whores, these fucking, oh my God, dude, these dudes that were club promoters. And they was just like tearing through women, and I was like, okay, what are they doing versus what are the pickup artists saying? And I watched, and that's where I got the female friend thing. It was completely from watching club promoters and guys who manage strip clubs. Getting this coalition, it's almost like George Bush invading Iraq, getting the coalition of the willing, getting a coalition of women on my side everywhere I went. I learned that from club promoters, right? The point I'm trying to make is, then me explaining it to them, it does nothing. It does nothing, bro. And like, you understand, Kindly Myers is one of my best friends, and she asked me about the red pill shit, but in the end, when it comes down to it, she still believes in soulmates and true love and like all this stuff. It's like, it never really works. And then the best example of all, and baby, I don't mean to pick on you, but my girlfriend saying that guys who are around a lot of girls look gay, and she's dating me.
Maybe she,
It just like, it's just,
was she low-key saying something about you?
the dissonance is so thick. It's so ridiculous.
Medium is the message, is what it is. So, like, again, getting back to the tone thing, I have women tell me this all the time. This would be this is great information. And more women would really accept this and read this and acknowledge this and internalize this if you changed your tone, if you didn't present it in such a way. In fact, I even had, way back when Chris Williamson had his like 500 subscriber party or his Q&A, somebody was asking if he was going to have me on the show. And the first thing he says was, well, I really would like to get Rollo on, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, his demeanor and his delivery, it sounds like he's so gleeful about this stuff. And it's like this tone. It's like, it's not the fucking tone. It is the actual information that I am relating. I could go and say the same thing that I say every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I could say exactly the same thing in a monotone voice like this all the time.
And all I'm saying is,
I could just be straight blank face the whole thing. And people would still hate it.
Let me give
because
you
it's the information.
But what if I say what you say in a whole different way, man? I'm talking everything that you say, but I try to speak. Man, I can't because the girls aren't here. But if I was on a show with girls, I could literally, like, y'all could see, if y'all wanted to see me working out, y'all could see it. And whenever I'm talking to women and I talk like this and I'm aggressive, they're not used to this. There's a lot of women that completely detach from me because they cannot stand a guy talking like this.
So here's the thing. I'm not gonna snitch on them, but I'm gonna kind of tell, like, when Sneeko and Myron and Fresh and Zerka, when they get off the show, it doesn't matter how mean they are to the girls. Bro, we go to eat sushi afterwards, and I see women. So Myron, I'm not telling on it, but I see women so attracted to Myron afterwards. Yeah, they are so.
And you've seen it too. That's what I'm agreeing with.
You see the ones that are.
I got one story, but I'm not going to.
No, I'm not saying Myron does. I'm not saying Myron does or doesn't do anything with him. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I have seen women. Myron has been like just dog cuss them, and afterwards they are following Myron around like a puppy dog.
And that's all I'm saying is that you talk mean and they like it.
Yeah. But like I've seen Fresh before, like literally just dog on a girl, and then afterwards the girl is just following him out of there. And then Zerka, holy shit, he'll call them the fucking whores, bro. They're whores. All of you are. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video?
Situation from Jersey Shore.
Have you seen the video where he's like, he goes, you know what? I understand what you're saying. I'll hook up with you later. I'll fuck you later. And then have you seen the video? And then he fucks her, and she's in the bed
with him,
like
bro.
It's in the same video. He like that night he fucks her.
It was so
and it's like
funny.
it's like so crazy. So here's the thing, right? Those guys, they're way more vile than me, right? And they get the girls. I'm gonna tell you right now, I remember watching it, I was like, afterwards, Myron was just like on this one chick the whole time, and afterwards I saw that girl, and I was 100% sure. Now Myron didn't, but if he had wanted to, that girl would have gone home with him.
1,000%. Right? And that's all I'm trying to prove right now is that there is like red pill does. It is attractive to women sometimes. I'm not saying it's always a gamma. It is gamma when most men say it. They're saying it from a gamma perspective. But when some guys say it, like a guy with a lot of experience with women, or he's really good at talking, it's a completely different game. Like you can literally teach the women that because they respect you. It's all about respect. If they respect the guy, and I do a lot of tactics, manipulation tactics on my show to make it to where they really like me. I call them beautiful multiple times, even if they're fat and ugly bitches. At the very beginning of the show, I'll say, I got beautiful panel of ladies, blah, blah. I sit there and talk them up.
There is a way to do that, but I do that for the guys. I don't care about it. You remember that large African American woman, very large, saying, I am a 10. Yeah. I know I'm a 10 because I'm on IMDb. And I was like, and I looked at her and I was like, we can't do that. I can't go up to Luca and be like,
I'm a millionaire.
I'm playing small forward for the Mavs tonight. Yes. They would kick me out. I can't just say I'm a 10.
I feel like my body fat percentage is 12.
Yeah, it's just like do you see this energy that I have? I have a good vibe, so I'm going to play goalie for the Stars tonight. Like, it doesn't work like that for us. And so that's what I said to her. Instead of saying what I really wanted to say, which is, you are not attractive.
You're fat.
But you're not attracted to your own demographic. You're not attracted to my demographic. You're not attracted to other women who are lesbians. You're just not physically attractive. No one is going to find you attractive. And you saying that you're a 10 and bringing up your IMDb is a cope. I want to say that to her. I do. And I want to say it to her and be compassionate about it. But if I say that, bro, I am getting destroyed because there are 20 other girls in there.
But what if you had been like, hey, just like how the military does.
What did my girlfriend do? My girlfriend called her a 10. My girlfriend called her a 10. Yeah.
But like
You go, girl.
yeah, I just really feel like that it's all about how you go at it. Like you can be very manipulative, just like in the military. I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. You say nice things and then you tear them down after. Like if you do that, you can teach these women some shit. You can literally like I'm really against like all this gatekeeping, man, because at the end of the day, I proved my point.
Who's gatekeeping?
Well, not even y'all. It's just everybody in the community, and I'm not.
Who's everybody in the community?
It's mostly the fans and like the red pill channels, the smaller red pill channels.
Like who?
Like definitely Fresh and Fit. Like all their fans.
I wouldn't
gatekeep
say
it.
they're one of the bigger channels, but
But no, so like if I just if I'm looking at like I like some of like the black guys in the manosphere, like a lot of them, they don't want women to learn the game.
Such as?
Like I like Mr. Lucario and like who's the guy that like he's always talking to, but they're very much about like don't tell women the game at all. Like never tell women the
play
game.
the game, don't tell them about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
and
It's
like-
women don't want the truth. They don't. Well, they want they say they want the truth, but they don't want full disclosure, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to be told that they would rather play the game with you than be told that they are playing a game with you, because that shows them that you just get it. That the guy was it Sterling Cooper? I always use this quote. I hate to do that again, but. Sterling Cooper said in the past is that the highest form of pre-selection, the best form of pre-selection,
Being good in bed.
is being good in bed. You don't have to talk about it. You're doing it. Demonstrate. Do not explicate. Don't say, "Hey, man, I got a really long dick and I'm really great in bed." No, that sounds like you're fucking popping off, right? But if you're in bed with that woman and you know her body better than she does, she knows that you had to have experience with other women in the past so that you could get good at sex, and now she benefits from that. Right now. That's a very high form of DHV, but also like pre-selection, meaning that women have rewarded this guy with sex often enough that he's really good in bed, right? So those getting to that point, the problem is you can't explain that. Say I'm Sterling Cooper, male porn star. Oh, I'm really good in bed and I've got a big dick. Oh, would you like to? No man has ever reasoned.
Could you see Sterling say that shit?
What he did.
You know, Sterling going,
Yeah,
"Hi, I
so-
have a big dick."
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Hey, mate. I got a big schlong. Yes, we got to get him back here. But if he were to, like, that would never happen, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to tell the woman about, like, here's how here's what I'm going to do to you. I got a list of this stuff. And
Yeah, I hope guys never do that
what
shit.
that is that's explaining rather than demonstrating. So, and that applies to a lot of different things. But the long and the short of it is that no man has ever reasoned a woman into bed. Okay. Because
prostitutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, okay, well, yeah,
Prostitutes,
but that's
yeah.
transactional. So no
Porn
no
stars,
man
yes.
has ever reasoned like saying
Burning Jamie Desire.
here's my resume of what I've done in the past and you know my pedigree and my bona fides here. Baby, strip down. It's time to go fuck. Right? That doesn't happen. Even though, like, even logically, we think, you know, why would she want to get with a fucking John Circa of all people? He's a piece of shit. Why doesn't she want to get with me? I make more money than him. I'm better looking than him. I've come from a good family. I checked out all the fucking lists. I like dogs. I like going to Disneyland. I like fucking rainbows. I like all of this stuff. And he just goes in there, you know, does a lot of coke and Adderall and talks shit, and he's fucking the chicks that I want to fuck. So what do we say? Those women must be damaged. There must be something very, very wrong with them. No, they're women who are responding to an opportunity to fuck a 6'5"
Yeah.
John Zerka, right? Because it's an opportunity. Hypergamy can't miss that kind. I can't afford to miss that kind of opportunity. And so you're going to see that their behaviors are going to belie what their real motivations are. So you can come down with the most rational list of all the reasons why this woman should marry you. You're a good catch. Here, I don't understand why you would do this. The very fact that you said you're making the list in the first place, and you don't understand that, that disqualifies
Here,
you. You're
let
disqualified.
me make something clear about the whole gamma and explain red pill stuff. I'm saying, from my perspective as a guy that's on a show that is teaching women red pill and stuff, I'm saying I could do it. I would never tell a guy that I'm coaching to go talk to their woman about red pill. That is extremely I don't even talk to my own girl about red pill. No. So like I'm not sitting here telling all guys to do it, but what I'm saying is that, but even you proved it, you know, with the Myron thing. There, guys with shows that do this stuff, you can put Riz behind it. A girl can be into you because it's not always gamma males. All I'm saying is that a guy can be alpha as fuck and explain this stuff, and he will get even more bitches for explaining it. Now, if he's a normal guy, though,
still has to speak their language.
Yes.
I think he can be interesting and talk about anything. Like I have absolutely pulled girls because I talk about astronomy, quantum mechanics, and atomic physics. It's totally over their head, but because I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Like it's like
it can be attractive. I know this as a fact because I've experienced
I
it.
cannot tell you how many women are interested with the way I describe my sales funnel. That is so boring. But like if you're like, well, we did this and we turned ROI out. We did $168,000 last week, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, I want to listen.
Well, if money's being made, they want to hear about it. Especially your fucking friends, bro.
You can make anything interesting. I don't think that's the issue. But like there are two different things we're talking about. You're trying to help women, not trying to sleep with women. And so because of that, like to me, it's like if they want to ask me, I don't know if you guys, Katie Moore. Katie Moore is a good friend of mine. She's on my show all the time. And Katie will come to me for advice and I'll give her advice and it's good advice. And she says, this is really great advice. And it'll be like, see you in a week when you don't listen to any fucking thing I say and go right back to the same dude. And then you're just upset. And it's just always the same thing.
Sometimes it's not prescription. It's just describing or explaining to them because usually the girls come on, they're like, why is this guy not taking me seriously? Why is this happening? Why is this? Because they're getting dickmatized. They're sleeping around. Like there's something going on that they're doing wrong. And they're like, okay, why do guys do this? And it's like, oh, it's because you're Chad chasing, you're alpha widow, you're this. Like they like, and the thing is, when you teach them these things, and they change, and that, well, you're right. I would say 90% of women don't fucking change, but there's definitely some, bro, that change. And I've had multiple girls come back 5-6 times. I've had 2 girls get married now, get proposed to now. Okay, so there's definitely things that I'm doing that are helping them because it's working.
I will point this out. I have like 20 girls now that have been proposed to.
Because you've been doing this for years, bro.
Because they did my bikini competition. And they got in outrageously good shape, and they got their. I'll tell you this. This is complete side note here, but you'll see the girls who finish in the top 10 of the bikini competition. Half of them will get proposed to because the guys will look at them and be like, "I'm not doing better than this."
Those guys are such simp beta cucks.
No, what? Because they're in a bikini competition?
But, dude, because any guy that, I'm telling you, guys who choose those type of girls, not saying you specifically, because you have a choice of 100 different women.
Bro,
because
there's no way you can come to Swimsuit USA and tell me none of those girls are marriage material.
I don't, dude.
So
A girl who wants validation, I don't want, bro, because I want her to only want my validation.
Every human wants
the reason
validation.
why your wife loves you so fucking much is because I guarantee you she does not yearn for the validation of any other fucking man. But
at some point she probably did. She probably
a long time ago, 27 years ago.
Back in the day.
Before 27 years ago. But the reason why your marriage is so good is because she pines for your validation, okay? And I want to find a girl that is in the same situation. So I know there's a formula.
Are you like frustrated because you need to find a unicorn?
I've already found it, and I have a formula for any guy to find it. That's my whole point.
Tell me what your formula is.
Seriously.
It's the place. It's all outer game. It's where to go. Most guys have no outer fucking game. They don't know when, where, and how. And that's all it is. It's just going when and where, and that's it.
Okay, let's
Once again, I'm not gonna give out my secret. I'm gonna give out. Hey guys, I'm gonna have a test soon. No, hold on. Guys, for our mentorship, I'm gonna have a test soon for y'all. If y'all go through the whole test, you get my secret at the end of it. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna have that soon for y'all. Probably in a week.
Let me just give you a piece of advice.
You wanted to know why I endorse MOA because it's not a fucking trade secret.
So here's the thing. So for me,
it's not a secret, bro. Chat could figure it out in 2 seconds. Chat, go ahead and put it in. It's not a trade secret, but I'm not gonna say it.
All right. So for me, it's like charity events is like the main place where I have guys meet girls. Like most of my guy friends meet their girlfriends through me. So, but the thing for me, and I'll just give you a piece of advice, being that I've been doing this for 2.5 years and we've cleared like $8 million at this point, is that I give away everything for free. But there's so much that you get from me as far as one-on-ones that you can't replace me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My course is so long. And I give away a free course, and I do free calls. I do 16 hours of content every week, or 11 hours of content every week. And the stuff we do with him, there's no way to replicate that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're the thing that's not replicatable. Whatever the place is, honestly, if you want to sell more units, you should tell people what the place is, and it should be in your free school server or your Discord.
Oh
server.
yeah, I know I got to give out as much free sauce as possible. I wanted to make a test where I can gather more information about the people, and then
there's no single thing in MOA I won't give away, but the whole course. Because the whole course is 114 modules long, it doesn't matter what I give away, and you also don't get access to me.
I'm mostly doing it because a lot of people don't know who the fuck I am. A lot of people have no idea who the fuck I am, who watch all this stuff. They have no idea what I'm talking about, and whenever I say that I got a secret that nobody else got, Yeah, I'm gonna spray it out because nobody's talking about it. There's not one other fucking person in space
and
that
you're
talks
not
about
talking
it.
about it either.
Well,
right now.
yeah. I'm not going to because that is the one thing that separates me from everybody else, and I'm gonna hold on to that as long as I can.
Right, so
like I
let's do
said,
this.
I guarantee you they're gonna put it in chat.
All right.
Everybody, go put it in. Anybody who's gone through my shit.
I'm going to give away a trade secret. Ready?
Okay.
You want to mass text a bunch of girls to come to a party. What happens is after the first 50, IG starts to throttle you.
Yeah.
You know how
Oh,
this
yeah,
works?
yeah,
The
bro.
way you get around the throttle, do you know what you do? You go to the first picture
Yeah.
on her profile, you send her own picture.
And then delete it. Yeah.
No, you send her her own picture with the message, and then you delete the picture. It gets past the IG throttle.
Yeah.
There you go. There's some free game right there. I
Yeah.
just gave you.
I
That's
mean-
it. Incredible. You can invite hundreds and thousands. You now have an advantage over every single club promoter in your city.
Men, don't
because of what I
fucking
just told you.
don't fucking listen to him. Don't message 1,000 girls. You're gonna hate your life afterwards.
Bro, the message
So,
5,000
let me-
girls.
let me-
Go in real life and go talk to 1,000 girls, guys.
Let me see if I can square this away. What? Go ahead.
So,
What?
question
Go
is,
ahead.
We haven't heard yet.
We got to get super chats too.
Yeah, we haven't heard yet a solid argument without any they said there's statistics or some facts. We haven't seen any facts yet.
I got a good one actually for us. So, what is the percentage of men that end up having kids?
Oh,
Does
it's
anybody know
40%. Hey,
Are you sure?
Can you look at my super chats also?
Yeah, there should.
I got one $10 super chat. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I got all 9 of them. I got 9 super chats.
Beautiful, beautiful. Historically, it's 40% of men.
No, we're not. I'm not talking historically. I'm talking about right now. What is the percentage of men that have a child right now? The total percentage.
Oh, is it somewhere in the 60%, something like that?
62, I think it is.
Somewhere around there. We did that. We
women
remember
have
the you.
76% among women and men. Oh no, that's 40 to 49.
I can tell you the ratio of women to men who reproduce.
We need to remember
More
that.
women reproduce
Well,
than men.
yeah.
We need to look up that
It's
IMF study.
40% of men.
Institute for
overall.
Family Study.
No, if you look at the
one I
actual
sent you,
numbers, it is
I haven't read the whole
62%.
thing.
The actual number for
Yeah.
right now, and I am getting this from
It said
CDC.
62%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. This is from CDC. It's 60%. So a majority of men have kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So if a majority of men have kids today, we need to start focusing on giving prescriptions and giving out things to help them that are going to help them become better fathers. Because most men, more than 50%, are going to probably have a kid. If 62% right now. Okay.
Sure.
So
Great.
so
What would
because of that,
what would that be? How would we help them?
by actually focusing on building families, because we look at a lot of the red pill space, it's a lot of you shouldn't get married, you shouldn't get into relationships.
So by
The biggest
what
thing-
would you improve?
Here, I'll give you an example.
About the family
The reason-
structure that would help men be better fathers.
It's not about that part. I got to take it back one step, okay? So it all goes back to just starting and just doing something. I'm not even saying what the prescriptions are, what we should be telling the men. I'm just saying nobody's even doing this.
So you basically want a pep rally for guys who are
No.
who are fathers who are out of the family.
No. I want to give a pep rally for guys who want relationships. The reason why I named my show Purple Pod isn't because I want to be the middle of red and blue. It's because I really love AMS. And AMS talks about, yeah, I know, weird, huh?
No, I like AMS.
Yeah, I love AMS. And the reason, and AMS always talks about Purple Pill. If you type in Purple Pill AMS, he has tons of videos talking about how to be good in a relationship. You know, because he calls Purple Pill a red pill person that is in a relationship. So my whole point of my show is, women, y'all need to get in relationships. Men, we need to get in relationships, because if we get in relationships, we can beat the powers that be, because they want us single. If we're all the algorithms,
Who are the powers that be?
just the 1%. Even I would even consider people like Fresh and Fit want us single, because they're going to make more money the more men are
You
single.
would say that Fresh and Fit are the 1%.
I'm saying any guy. Yeah, are they in the top 1% incomes?
Does it matter if it's incomes?
Yes, I'm just saying,
that the
but yeah,
powers that be
yeah,
want us
when
to
I
be
talk
single,
about-
but like, does
I'm
that
not
like,
Nick-
does that mean
I'm
like
not
the people
Nick
who are like,
Fuentes, man.
So is it in like economics?
Look,
Or is it like,
let me explain to you. I'm not Nick Fuentes, man. When I say 1%, I'm not just talking about like the Jews or anything. I'm saying just the top 1%, the people who make the most money, okay? Greed is the same across all boards. I just see it all as greed. And the bottom line is there's way more money made off people being single than getting into a relationship. Because when you get in a relationship, you're putting more money in your 401k, your IRA, your HSA. You're going to buy a house. You're going to put most of your money into these things that are focused on your future, because you're going to have kids and generational wealth. Single people spend in the moment. They live in the moment. They go they go and do stuff that's going to make us, especially single women. They're going to buy
realize
makeup.
that statistically speaking, homosexuals have more disposable income than couples who have children.
Yeah, but
They spend
but that's,
more money and they put it back into.
that's
the
a straw
economy.
man. That's a straw man, bro.
That's
I'm
a
not
straw man.
because I'm not talking about that. Like, we're talking about something else. And what I'm saying is that this is what I'm talking about.
Fair
Like, if
enough.
guys get in relationships, if we all get in relationships, if men and women get in relationships, they make less money. When I say they, just the richest people, that's the top 1%, because there's more money being made off keeping us separate than there is than there is us being together. So if I teach everybody to get into relationships and actually how to be good in a relationship, we can beat the powers that be. We can push back.
But yet, more to the point, whenever I'm listening to somebody say like Ben Shapiro just this morning, as a matter of fact, was saying like, men need to man up and be the best version of themselves because we need more men to be, more suitable husbands, better eligible bachelors for women. So essentially what Ben Shapiro was saying, and still has, and many other tradcons say, is that we need to be the best versions of ourselves because we need to solve women's problems.
No, we just
the
need
problems
relationships.
that they're suffering from right now is that they cannot find suitable mates, and the problem that they will never really address is the fact that women have become the men that they want to marry, right? And so the only guys that they want to marry, who they want to settle down with, that they want to have families with, are the guys who are elite men, guys who are above average. And as you probably heard, average women don't want to get with average men because they don't have to. They don't have to do that anymore. So you could say it's the corporate elites or whatever else. Again, no one ever wants to tell me who those people are, and I don't mean the Jews or anything like that.
Wait, but most Jewish people are not in the top 1%.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's a good point.
By the way, number two,
then
there are only 14 million Jews on the planet. Just FYI. Just
See,
wanna let
here's
you
the
guys
thing
know.
is we get to what?
We're gonna do super chats after this.
Okay.
But question is, how are you gonna men get better, but it doesn't stop women from divorcing them? So what's your solution? Your solution is
Is there marriage reform? Like, what's
are you pushing for marriage reform?
No,
or are
I'm
you
just
gonna push for the equal rights and child support custody?
No, it's just making people better in general. If people get better you gotta understand, everybody that is stuck single, bro, they're stuck single because they fucking suck, okay? The reason why people are stuck single is because they suck. Their inner game is fucked up.
How does marriage fix the problem?
I'm not saying that marriage, I don't push marriage, you know that. I do not push marriage on anybody. I push relationships. I do not push marriage. I do not push anybody into getting married, okay? I've never have said that on my fucking show.
There's a lot of great single dads out there that are not in the home, and Rollo, you pulled the statistic out. The fathers are what, single black dads?
Yeah, that's well. So that's the whole thing. That's why he was getting to the marriage thing here. And I've done the shows actually with Myron on this. Is the idea that marriage is like a marriage contract, marriage certificate is the litmus test for whether you or not there was an involved father in the household, is a 20th century ideal, right? It's like that's the only way that we measure those. So when we say like children are fatherless or whatever, it's not saying they're fatherless. They still have fathers. They might have involved fathers, but it means that the father is not married to the wife or to the mother of the child, right? Yeah. So therefore, we say, well, there's the trouble in the United States is that it's fatherlessness. No, it's not. There are like more than ever, especially in the black communities. You'll see more and more involvement on the part of black fathers right now, statistically speaking, like at higher than any other time in history right now. It's just that those men are not married to the mothers of those children. So do we say that they're lacking a father? The only time we have a problem with a child not having a father is when that child is a criminal or has a drug, attempts suicide, or there's some sort of social, antisocial behavior from that child. First thing we say is, oh, must have been that fucked up single mother that you had. No, we say it's got to be the dad. Where's the father? Where's the dad in all of this? And we're going to foist that responsibility back on that father. Now, the problem that you're always going to run into, whether you want to have a pep rally for guys or you have some sort of concrete plan, is that you will never be able to affect any of that until you can reinstate male authority. And until that happens, everything is just a fart in a fucking
and that's what I
wind
do
right
on my show, though. I teach them the different, just like Dr. David Buss talks about, like the long-term dating strategies being different. And I explain to them, you can end up with a top 10% guy. He's an alpha. I give the same prescription as what Myron says. If you're going to sleep with him fast, you need to also, provide value in some way with his business, in his life somehow. And you can maybe lock down that alpha, maybe, if you're that girl and you do everything right. So like I explain to them, you could do that, or you could do what most women do, and they go into a relationship where it's in their frame and they have control, and that's the best long-term strategy for her to have a beta provider and a guy that's going to be there in the long term, not run away after the kid's born and stuff like that. And I explain both of them. I say, look, weigh your options. You can either go for the 90% guy or the 80% guy. That's normal, and you're going to have the frame, and it's going to be all how you want it. Or you can keep Chad chasing, you can keep fucking getting digmatized, and then you can try to fix those guys. It's just giving them those two solutions.
One of the things you said, and we'll get to super share in a second. One of the things you were saying is like, you want to encourage guys to be the best versions of themselves. everyone from Rich Cooper to Ty Lopez to fucking Tony Robbins to Gary Vee to PBD to everybody else. Everybody says exactly the same fucking thing. And you know what they don't have? They don't have any concrete plan. They don't want to talk about it. They want to have a pep rally, and that's why I called it a pep rally, because it's just success porn. It's just motivational fucking posters on the fucking wall with no.
So if I give them a
applicable-
prescription, if I give them a prescription of where to go find girls that aren't fucked up yet, then am I not doing? Then I'm doing it right. Then I'm not doing a pep rally. Then I'm telling them where to go.
You know where the fucking magical city of
I do.
Shangri-La
I
is.
fucking do. I fucking do, man. The thing is, let me get back to the fuck girl tier list, okay? Because we were talking about that. The girls at the A tier are the fuck girl tier. The reason why I'm saying tier list is because in the gaming world, there's S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. At the S tier, that's the most hardcore character, the best in the game. So like the girls with OnlyFans, the girls with 100,000 followers on Instagram, the girls that just get so much validation, they're at the top of the fuck girl tier list, okay? And in my opinion, I would never fuck with those girls on a relationship level. That's just me personally. That's why I teach guys. Under that, like say,
You realize that sounds like sour grapes, right?
yeah. So like A tier.
What about three of them at the same time?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah. That's okay for just sex.
Why not?
It's always okay for just sex.
Why-
always okay for
why
just
not?
sex. No, let
Why
me
wouldn't
explain.
you? Why wouldn't you?
I'm about to explain. I gotta explain like the whole thing. So S tier would say strippers, okay, or A tier. A tier would be strippers, okay. Would never want to date one of those girls. Too much validation, too much money coming in. Wouldn't want to do it. Okay, right under that, bottle girls at a club. Bottle girls that are bartenders at the
You
club.
mean like have a monogamous relationship?
Yes, I'm talking about take serious and you might be a wife one day. Like you're a girl that I actually want to lock down and be in a relationship with for a long period of time, okay? All right, because trust me, I would fuck all these girls, bro. I'll fuck all of them. I would never be in a relationship with one. But so like, and then right at the bottom of the tier list is the C tier, and all these girls, the S tier, the A tier, and the B tier, they all started somewhere. Almost all of them, I would say a majority, 50, 60, 70% of them usually start at a certain place. And if everybody uses their fucking critical thinking, they'll figure it out in 2 seconds. They usually have a job that they start out where they first get to show off their beauty and where they first get to get that type of validation. And you can get that girl right when she's out of her first relationship, right when she's out of her second relationship, out of high school.
So
you can get them before they're
Your
fucked up.
secret place is Hooters.
Yes, he got it.
that's where you
It's
gotta go.
restaurants. It's just restaurants in general.
Hooters.
All of them.
Guys.
All
It's Hooters.
Really?
Yeah. You sit at the bar and you sit there and you become friends with the
Hey man,
bartender.
he's not wrong. That's what Maya was. Maya started in Hooters. See, there.
No, I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong because I know tons of girls like your friends.
Kylie was at fucking Twin Peaks.
Guys,
Exactly.
That's
And you can get them before they get fucked up. You can meet them and you can get them before they end up going through
The
5
magic
different
city
dates.
of El Dorado. Hooters.
Bro, it is. And you know how many guys sit there and waste their time going on dating apps and going to clubs and getting these girls once they're 25 plus and they've been ran through? That's so ignorant, man. Everybody can have one of these girls.
Hooters is nursery school for strippers. All right. Hey,
The comments about to be
Glenn,
lit.
give me the super chats right quick, and then we'll bring Miguel in for half a second.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, supers. Here we go.
Hey, baby, we're going to Hooters later. We're going to go.
Go to Hooters.
Daddy,
Everybody.
I got a new job at the restaurant. Where?
All right,
Hooters.
Hey, Mike,
Hey, if y'all want to go filter through all the ugly girls on fucking dating apps, y'all, and all the fucking girls at the club, go for it, man. Y'all want to filter them? I will filter young, beautiful women that haven't been ran through yet all day long. Y'all can do that.
All
I
right.
can't see him.
I can see it from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and grab.
How many times will Rollo use the word douche nozzle in this stream? I only use it once. Thank you.
time.
very
Yeah,
much.
one
If
time.
you said once, you win the $10 from your friends.
All right.
Rollo makes me feel so good. I want to rock and roll and have my woman with
Ass with snow coke.
a snowflake.
Oh, he
Okay.
wants to do coke off her ass.
There
Yeah.
you go. Okay.
Oh, he must be
All right,
friends with
thank you, Nikki Six. Next one. Rollo, thoughts on women who give sex.
Sex.
I say eggs. Sex. You can spell sex, dog. I know what sex is, dude. Expecting provisions, relationships, and when they don't, the harm they can cause. Okay, which is. Thoughts on women who give sex.
Oh, I know what you're saying. So
expecting
like you
provisions,
end up.
so it's transactional.
You have sex early on, and then immediately she wants things from you, and they can cause harm. I mean, of course. So you saw maybe like a essay, accusation.
If the chick is having sex with you to get something out of it, you're having transactional sex in the first place.
Let me say something real quick. Film everything, screenshot everything. That's what I would tell you. Like those people. I don't mean have a camera in your bedroom that you can that may be crossing the line, but like I would have cameras of her agreeably walking into your apartment, having a good time, walking out, giving her a little hug and a kiss on the way out, text messages where you're like, hey, let's meet up again, screenshot those text messages. So if all of a sudden she wants to change the narrative, document everything. Number one, stop snitching on yourself. Number two, film and screenshot everything.
You have to be a lawyer. You have to be litigious about your sex life. Okay, what's the next one?
Email chain.
Every head must bow, and every tongue must confess. Rollo will be a legend for waking up the men. Okay, so for the dude in white, you don't. That's Sergio Solis. Thank you very much. Use his proper name. You don't like his info because you don't want other men to win. I don't know if I can disagree.
I don't know about that.
It's like okay. So whenever I should probably clarify this in the beginning is that whenever we have like discussion, I don't like this isn't a debate. This is just two guys fucking disagreeing over something.
We could have done this at the bar.
A real formalized debate is like something you would see on the Senate floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's timed, all that stuff. So if anybody who's ever been to like knows classic debate, has ever taken like debate team, is on debate team in college or whatever, you know that this is not debate. This
Shout
is
out to
bullshit.
my
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
we could have done this at the bar.
So that's number one. Number two is that the red pill is still a process. You at least took up the fucking gauntlet, which is more than I can say for the rest of these sons of bitches who want to say. I say, if you have a problem with me, come in. At least you have the balls. You're the second person, by the way. It was Gary, the numbers guy. It was our initial guy who said, "I'll come down there and I'll debate fucking numerology and astrology with you." And we're like, you know what? That's the offers on the table for anybody, by the way. And so you're the second person I've been saying this since October. But as far as like the red pill is concerned, it's still a process. It's a praxeology. It's not written in fucking pen and on some holy tablet brought down from Mount Sinai. It is written in pencil. And I still use an eraser when something I says.
That actually brings up one of my biggest points that I want to bring up with you is that if it is a praxeology, I'm all about science, bro. I love how science works. I'm very emergent. I hate static. I'm totally against being static in reality. You got to be emergent. The universe is emergent. Nature is emergent. You got to stick with it. And the thing is, if that was true, what I would expect from you is a book next year titled The Rational Male Volume 1. And in that Volume 1, it's all the changes for this year. And then 2, 3, 5 years later, Volume 2 comes out.
So like,
and it's
you want the DSM for...
Yeah. And well, just the thing is, we know it's going to change. We know that as time goes on, there's certain things that might need to be taken out, and there's certain things that might need to be added in. And that's all. Like, I love the idea of it being a praxeology and all that stuff. I told this to Glenn months ago. I was like, I wish he had a volume that came out, every year, 5 years or something. Sorry, but yeah.
Give me the next one. Do it. You don't talk red pill with women. Women are going to. Oh, thanks for that, Carl. Are going to do.
They?
Women are going to do they. To do them.
Guys, one more time. Grammarly.com.
ESL.
Copy and paste your message into Grammarly.com. It will tell you when you don't conjugate your verbs. I don't know how this keeps happening.
I like it. Want it to create the observe effect. Hypergamy doesn't reason. Women want value.
Guys, write your messages out either on your your messenger or on your notepad, and then copy and paste it into YouTube. This is getting crazy. We can't read anything you guys
Rollo
are writing.
always sticks to the facts. Thank you, Sergio Salcido. Okay, next one. How many of these do I got? Oh, excuse me. Purple pill is the future of the red pill. Guys want, to get laid now, but they want to have families at some point in their lives.
That's my favorite quote by AMS is he always says, we all go purple pill in the end. That's why I started my show, is because I know we're all going to end up in relationships one day.
Let me explain
so that's my show.
Let me explain to you what the purple pill really is in like my parlance, because I was in fact, I probably wrote this essay long before AMS even came on the scene. The purple pill was always this combination of a guy who became red pill aware. He's like, you know what? Rollo's right. Fucking hey, I can't believe this. He went through the stages of unplugging. He becomes red pill aware. He puts the red pill lens on, and he can't take the fucking lens off. But the problem is that guy still subscribes to all of his blue pill hopes and dreams and ideals that he still thinks he can get with red pill awareness. And the problem with that is he's not quite entirely become red pill per se and living in a red pill paradigm. He still understands this stuff. And I'll see this, by the way, in a lot of religious guys. They'll want to pick and pull parts of the red pill that fits
the
with
religious
that
ones,
fits with their convictions, because they're still trying to apply all this new data to old ideals and old goals that were based on the same bullshit that they are now emancipated from, and yet they're still trying to go back and get the ideals that were sold to them while they were still sort of stuck in the matrix, stuck in the blue pill, right? And that's when we call them purple pill, because
So
what
would
they're
you
doing is they're
consider
trying
me
to,
red or purple?
I
Because you don't
honestly,
ever watch my
honestly,
show.
I don't know enough about you to really say one way or the other, but I will say this: a person
Because Torsha said I'm one of the most red pill people.
So
Like
even
Torsha said that I was.
You're
very red pill.
purple as fuck.
Don't
Nah, I'm
say-
red.
don't-
I'm red.
don't-
I got more of a red pill
If
life
you-
than most of these fucking guys in this chat, bro.
Well,
Hands down. I got one of the most red pill relationships that most people could ever have. Like a very submissive girl, young, beautiful. Y'all fucking.
Would Tori be at that high level, or she be the stripper level? Like,
Oh.
which one would she be?
Shout out to Jack,
Where would
shout out to
she be?
Jack.
She would probably
Would she
be.
be? Is she a quality woman, but she kind of like looks like
She-
that age
because of
girl
our
that she would
followers,
never have anything to
It's
do
not.
with?
It's not. It's not looks. It's not looks. It's her. It's a validation, bro. It's the amount of validation that comes in. So if she has like, I think she has like 20-something thousand followers. She would probably be like a B or A tier to me, because there's a lot of women that like have that in that same tier.
Shout out to Torsha's breast implants.
Yes.
Shout out to Jack.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just validation. I'm not trying to fight for validation.
Okay. Well, either way, what I would say is this. Well, first of all, I would not use Tory Grow as a benchmark for any of this. But the idea of the guy who's still stuck in his blue pill hopes and dreams, and now he thinks he has this new like data set, or he's got this new information, he's going to go, you know what? Rather than just abandon all that bullshit, I'm going to go back to the blue. I'm going to pull out Cypher. I'm going to plug myself back into the matrix, and I'm going to see if I can use all this great new red pill stuff and get the things that I really thought were valuable when I was still like plugged into the matrix. You know, I want the white picket fence. I want my wife to be a wife. I want the golden retriever in the front yard and 2.5 kids, and I can go have that blue pill nuclear family dream. The problem is that once you put the red pill lens on, there ain't no going back.
What
You
have
don't
I
take
said
those
that
off
is purple
again.
or blue just from now? Because you haven't probably watched my show or anything, but just
Well,
from our conversation, what has been considered blue or purple?
Okay, so first off, I would say that you're probably very invested in your girlfriend right now, and so a lot of this stuff is probably is derivative of the fact that you want to qualify to the fact that you're now and not just you. There's a lot of guys that do exactly the same thing. Is they'll say, okay, Rollo, thanks for the red pill. I got all this stuff. I found my dream girl. I just
learned about. I was with her 3 years ago.
I'm not saying
bro.
this is you particularly, but I see similarities anyways. Guys will become red pill. They'll read my stuff. They'll practice game for a little while to the point where they find the girl who is their sort of their genetic celebrity, the girl that it looks like the girl of their dreams, and they finally have enough game because they have enough red pill knowledge to get that girl, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. I've learned enough. See you later, Rollo. Bye bye. And then either they get rolled by that girl and they come back, or else they do what a lot of other guys are doing, particularly if they make their vocation about the red pill, and now they can no longer float that vocation or their revenue stream or all the stuff that they were talking about before. And so now they either have to like throw shit at the red pill, or they have to sort of reinvent it and make the red pill into something that fits where they're going, their new pivot. So I finally was able to get this girl that I really settled down with, but I can't be Tucker Max anymore. I can't be that guy anymore who I used to be.
Yeah.
So, but that's where my money came from.
but
She wouldn't have had anything to do with me if I didn't have the revenue from being the incorrigible bad boy and wrote all these books about it. And now I have to be suddenly turned into the responsible adult, the good dad, the good husband, the good church goer, whatever it is, the good, the guy who's got his business down on point. And you know what? That guy's fucking boring. That guy's market share drops off a fucking cliff. That guy doesn't get asked back to fucking Fresh and Fit.
Or when you propose, yeah.
Because now what he's trying to do is he's trying to force fit the red pill to fit his blue pill ideals, which was marriage and monogamy and everything in the first place. So,
Man,
all right, sorry, go ahead. What do we got?
I gotta explain something though really quick, man. Like but that's not my life. Like the problem is that when I got into this space, it was because I had I got into this because Fresh and Fit came to Dallas for a Fresh and Fit meet, and they had a big Discord of guys in there. Okay, I joined a Discord. I didn't end up going to meet, but I talked with all of these guys and I became good friends with them. What I found was I had the most red pill life of any of them. I had a submissive girl that I took care of, and she did everything at the house like what every guy wants in the red pill. I had that. I had a beautiful young woman, okay? And most guys, that it was in this space. They were all fucking not getting girls. On top of that, they were broke. They weren't business owners. They didn't have anything going for them in life. And when I joined this Discord, I was the only guy that was successful, had a good, successful relationship, actually like was good in business, made money. Wasn't like I was actually one of the guys that was doing life correctly.
And they would call you blue pill just for your investment.
Well, this is what happened. I converted most of them to be on my side. There's a huge drama between Fresh and Fit and me, only because like there's a couple guys that stuck with them, and then the rest of the group all came with me, and they all support what I'm doing because they understand that I'm very red pill.
They're still very invested in their blue pill.
Most of them are not in relationships, Rollo. Like the thing is, a lot of these
like to be in relationships. Would they prefer to be in a monogamous relationship rather than spinning plates?
It's not. No, Mike, like my homie, like my biggest sales guy, like no, he doesn't. He's gonna stay single for a while because that's what he wants to do. I don't sit there and pressure guys that want to stay single to get in relationships. I don't. There's no sense in doing that. The problem is that there's people that God, like I don't know how to explain this now. I don't know.
All right, next one. Go. We gotta wrap these up. Go.
The average.
The average girl or normal girl. 5'4", 175 pounds, no tattoos, no kids, no plastic surgery, makes 30 to 50K in the United States standard.
Yeah, that's what happens when you walk around in public.
I read an article about that. It was like 170 pounds, and she's like 5'4". It's like a beach ball. Shout out to Sergio from Purple Pill Podcast. Where do you see the manosphere going in the next 10 years?
He's not asking me. He's asking you.
This is obvious. We are all going to be subservient to John Zerka. How do we not?
How do you not do Zerka?
Hey, when we're going to be a political movement, and what's going to happen is we're going to have like the senator, the House Select Committee on Intelligence, and they're going to interview John Zerka, and he's going to be anyone who disagrees with him, he's going to call him a homosexual.
I don't know about 10 years, but I can tell you 5 years. What's going to happen? We're already there. If officially the manosphere is unrecognizable. Second of all, we are in a political election cycle right now, like I said we would be. And everybody who made a handsome profit off of the manosphere is now pivoting to social issues and the culture war, and they will continue to do that until November of 2024, and then right around springtime of 2025, you'll see all these sons of bitches come back, and now they want to be the next Fresh and Fit, and they want to start talking about intersexual dynamics because that will always have some sort of shelf life. Because it doesn't matter if you're divorced, single, young, old. Getting sex, virgin, not virgin, asexual, whatever. Everybody wants to talk about their fucking sex lives. It will always be popular and there will always be an audience for it. It will change, but everybody's going to go through this cycle where they'll go and talk about something else because that's where the money is, and then the grifters and the hacks will once again come back into the manosphere probably mid-2025. That's where I see it going. Those percentages of men with children are skewed because it includes all generations. Boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. We should be observing Gen Y and Gen Z. That's when the numbers get thrown off. True.
30%.
Yeah. Okay, next. Michael, please get better audio equipment.
Sure, I'll get right on that.
We're working on it, yeah.
I'll get right on that. Let's
We
get
just said we're at Best Buy. They'll be back.
The fuck you coming at me?
Oh, you could have showed the fucked up one, bro. I like it when people talk shit to me.
Neil Strauss went from single to married, yeah, and then back to divorced again, by the way. Keep going. Come on, Mike and Rollo. You guys know Sergio is fraudulent. Look how he brags. Look at his posture and how he carries himself. Look how he dresses. No swag, or charisma, or probably can't fight either. I don't know, man.
Bitch, pull up and fight. Pull up, bitch. Pull the fuck up, and I'll take your fucking bitch too, man.
The guys that don't look like they can fight, but they're kind of like wiry and like they've been like lifting.
Hey, you don't fuck with.
They've been working in the fields for a long time. Those are the guys you don't fuck with.
You don't fuck with.
Yeah, this is all fake. I can't even bench press 135 pounds. It's all fake.
It's all fake. Yes, you just take a pill and muscles magically grow
That's
off
how it
of your
works.
arms. He ain't no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He no idea. I'm like, okay, should I say it in that vernacular?
No, don't say it.
Guys like him are not average dudes working at those jobs or going there and picking up women and keeping them. You mean at Hooters? Restaurant workers are like nurses, stressed and pissed from customers and patients. All right, that was good. I wish I had my sound drop. That was pretty good. I would have given you the foghorn. Guys pretend that 5 to 10 partners isn't that high, but they would watch them. Would they watch them run a train on her all at once? They get upset. Makes sense. Well, I don't know, man. We might be leaning into.
So what is it
direction,
worse if
but-
she's only had one sexual encounter, but it was with 10 guys? Does
I
that
guess
make it
so.
worse?
It's
I guess
not
that makes
enough-
it
yeah, I
worse.
keep
If
saying
she
it's-
spreads out the penis over
It's
a
not
certain
a
amount of
numbers
time.
It's definitely worse if she had multiple at one time.
There you go.
Like,
Okay.
that's definitely worse. I would definitely think
But
so.
she was just so, I saw behind her, she was so crazy in college.
Yeah,
she's
she's
had
good
her
now.
fun, and there's no fun left for you.
Hey, Christopher, I agree with you, bro. I thought about it
You
a
know
lot.
what would be cool, Sergio, if you take this new understanding and rename your podcast Red Pill Podcast.
I know everybody's
Yeah.
gonna hate me for the rest of my life for being
I
Purple
don't
Pill
know that
Pod.
if there's any Red Pill. I would think it would be trademarked.
Probably
by
one, but
now.
they
I
probably
would
came
trademark
in
it if it
wet.
was mine.
Hey, so we're gonna bring on Miguel.
All right,
that's
Miguel,
fine.
take my spot. I gotta pee.
I got a tinkle.
I gotta piss.
I got a P2, but I'll hold it. Let's do this.
Oh wait, I gotta come around.
Oh, do I need to stay here?
No,
Yeah, you stay there.
Yeah.
Which way am I?
Miguel, I'm gonna tag you in.
Go.
Wrestling, go.
Go.
Put your Libre mask on.
That's right. Rey Mysterio.
All right, so this part is a little interesting because
I don't know this guy.
you know, but Sergio, you said some shots.
Yeah, I said he's
about-
a scammer,
You
guys.
said that Miguel's a scam
I
artist.
did. I said he's a
Can you
scammer.
explain yourself?
Yes, I will. I think anybody in
Nice to meet you,
crypto.
though.
Oh yeah, nice to meet you, bro. It's good watching you all.
Fucking scammer.
Fucking scammer, yeah.
Piece of shit. Fucking Hispanic.
No, I know, fucking beaner, bro. Fucking wetbacks over here. But no, dude, I'm against crypto big time, man. I'm
Just
super.
overall. Just overall.
No, I mean, not overall at all. I think 10% DCAing is completely okay. I think that most people, though, aren't 10% DCAing. And I think that a lot of people who buy these courses, usually they don't get told to do 10% DCA. Now, if you were every person that was coming in, if you were like, okay, make sure you're maxing your form, make sure you're getting,
match.
yes, make sure you're getting your match. Because that's the most important, and then you can do like your 10% TCA, and so that's why I'm really against crypto stuff, bro. I made a lot of money on crypto. I paid for my studio. I bought my first crypto in 2013, Bitcoin at like $560. Like I was one of those people that like I got lucky because I was in it a long time ago.
Then you bought the top then? Because the top had at $1,000 and then it
Oh
crashed.
no! At 2013, like I show you the receipt. It was like 560 was the first one that I bought for in 2013.
Okay.
And like it was like 573 or something like that. But the bottom line is though is just that most people aren't like anything. If it doesn't matter if it's drop shipping, if it's any of these like hustles that are being pushed today. You know, people are selling courses on. All of them,
But
mostly.
you're literally trying to sell a course.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because it's all because there's a hierarchy of who gives the best advice. There's
Okay, so
in the
there's a course hierarchy.
Yes, of
Okay,
course. Because
okay.
are we not men? Are we not men? Is there not in free market? Is there not a hierarchy? Is there not who is the best at something? And whoever's the best, the free market is going to tell us who's the best. So I just started with my shit, but give me fucking time and we'll see who really has the best prescriptions. We don't know yet, but we will know once I actually get to push my stuff out. I'm not even running ads right now. Just give it time.
No, that's cool. So, I mean, I haven't run any ads either and stuff. I'm in the financial space. I'm in the red pill of finance.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I'm red pill adjacent and stuff like that. But yeah, I am in the finance space. I'm not like selling like, like I'm not selling like how to pick up chicks and shit. That's not my lane, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of crypto, obviously you haven't taken my courses or anything like that. But we've taught like almost 14,000 people inside the red pill so far since 2020, since August of 2020. And, we've had a lot of success, but that's one thing we do teach. One of the big things that we talk about is how old are you when you're getting into crypto? I never tell a fucking 50-year-old, 60-year-old, even a 45-year-old, all in, bro, cash out the 401k, sell the fucking house, get a reverse fucking mortgage, like just crazy shit. I don't do that. Other guys do that, and they're gone. Like this whole crypto winter, we're the last Mohicans. Like go find a crypto course. They're all gone. I'm literally you find you have and then there's no shot against Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez comes around at the top of the market,
Yeah,
and
he
then
takes
dips,
his money
and dips and stuff like that. We've been through I didn't buy Bitcoin in 2013, but I got in 2016. Been around since then. Haven't left. This is my only industry. This is the only thing I'm doing. I'm not like pivoting off to something else. Half these grifter guys, what they end up doing is they just like, what's a hot industry? AI. Okay, I'm in AI now. Or red pill, cool. It's sort of like what Rollo's talking about when he's talking about that, like, oh, they're in the red pill now, and then they're going to switch off to being fucking Muslim or Christian or whatever the fuck the hottest fucking trend is and stuff, and then that's who I am now.
Yeah.
I'm an AI guy now, bro.
Yeah.
AI stocks, or like I'm GameStop. That's what's going on right now. Is that you're seeing, and we all see it, is these dudes that just jump from industry to industry, or they just catch the hot part of the trend, make a quick course, get some cash, bug out, and they don't give a fuck.
Well, I wouldn't do that if I were you either, because whenever you're partnered up with Fresh and Fit and you're able to go on every 3 months and push this to all of their fucking fans, I wouldn't fucking give up either, bro. You're always gonna have people coming in, especially if you have a deal set up with them like you do. Of course, like, and the thing is, it's all a grift at the end of the day. I'm a grift. I can go and grift and fucking try to sell something. We're all doing different types of grifts, but the problem is in the crypto space. A lot of people like to say, this isn't a grift, this is all, I'm going to teach you stuff that you're not going to lose your bag. The thing is, I know a lot of guys who lost their bag, and I don't know, like, I'm sure you're smart about this, and you teach guys about cold storage and, like, keeping it safe, not using Androids or, like, using certain apps or phones, using certain things to be safe about, but I have seen tons of people get hacked and lose almost everything. And not even, so I've seen guys lose because they invested wrong and they got hacked. So because of that, I'm extremely cautious about crypto. And I'd much rather somebody max their 401k, their IRA, and their HSA.
This is, well, personally, I don't like stock. I mean, the stocks are fine and stuff like that. Just
or at least selling. If they want to do more than that, I'll at least teach them how to sell options. Like, I won't ever tell somebody to buy options.
We literally have a guy right here that.
I know Michael's history. I know all about it. But the thing is like that's the most intelligent thing to do, though. Like, and if we look at even Moneyberg, I'm pretty sure that he says that same formula as well.
Well. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna speak to Moneyberg.
I would like to say, well, I'm not sure, but I know he talks about selling options. Like, I know he talks. So I'm just saying,
real estate and everything else.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, even the best investors, bro, they're gonna say, you know, max out these things, but then selling options is one. If you want to be an investor and do these type of things, usually the safest thing is the selling the options.
Well, I'm in a new industry.
Yeah.
This thing is like what, 2009.
Yeah.
Right. It's really new, and even back then, I mean, what was it? 2017, we're $640 billion. 2021, we're 3.4 trillion.
Yeah.
And right now, like, we're barely above $1 trillion right now. We're heading towards 10 trillion by the end of the decade and stuff. It's a small industry. Fucking gold's like $100 trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're even at the peak of the fucking market, we'll be a tenth of gold.
Yeah.
Right. And I know gold's like 5,000 fucking years old. Shout out to Rob Kiyosaki.
Yeah. I actually sell gold. I'm very big on gold. I'm very big on about 10% DCing even on gold as an insurance.
I mean, I fell for the grift too a long time ago, man. We all fell for like
10% insurance. There's nothing wrong with the 10%.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong is like having like some gold and stuff like that. I mean,
So I actually have a jewelry store and I get gold at cost. I get gold jewelry at cost, okay? And most people can't get, and I can still sell it for double if I want.
And I buy Rolexes from the 80s and stuff, and I get them instantly in profit too. But like, it's so. Look, I mean, we look. You're right. Every industry has grifters. It's true. It's just finding where the hierarchy, right? Who is the top of the hierarchy and stuff. We're some of the top of the hierarchy.
Are you at the top of the hierarchy though because of your skill, or because you go on a show that has 1.5 million subs?
I mean, I did not start even doing like even a YouTube channel until I had $1 million in crypto. Like, cause I felt like a fucking fraud. I took my fucking landscape money because I came from I was a blue collar worker, Mexican dude, first generation. Took my money, invested it in stocks originally, then took it from there, put it into crypto, grew it to $1 million. Then from there, started my YouTube channel. Then from there, decided to make a fucking course. Like, it was like 4 years in before I even decided to even like teach anybody about crypto, because I felt like a fucking fraud. Like, how could I teach anybody about crypto if I haven't made any fucking money?
Yeah.
Right?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I'm not getting mad at you or nothing like that. But it's just like, you're right. This whole grifter mentality it's pretty fucking bad. But like, most of these guys are just jumping in. I mean, half the guys, like, the other thing too. I talk to Fresh and Fit all the time. This Waller, I mean, Justin, everyone talks about this. Is that like there's these gang of dudes, and not just in Dubai, but all over the world. They're 19 years old, 21 years old, no fucking experience at all, talking to you about how to make all these millions of dollars. Or like they've had one girlfriend in their whole fucking life, and they're telling you like this is how your dick should go into her. Yeah. Like craziness shit, right? Like, and obviously it's not some reverse ageism bullshit, but there is this whole thing where like if you're going to be talking about money, at least you do need some time, right? I mean, obviously there's some dudes that got really lucky with a crypto pump and stuff like that. I know tons of these dudes that made like $40 million, make $10 million off of a pump and dump from just rugging their community. We don't do that shit. I've never made a crypto coin. I've only taught education. I've been like, hey, this is what I'm doing, but you got to do it at the end of the day. This is why even in the beginning of my show.
Have y'all ever rugged?
No. Okay. Rug what?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Same thing. I only knew about you just because, like, I saw a bunch of
tags. My one video talking.
Yeah, I was like, and then people started sending me, yo, this guy's like,
this guy's a dickhead.
This guy interviewed this guy, and then this guy like some video about me. So there you go. Thank you, Sartain. But I mean, so I didn't even know what to expect when I came on here, like with you and stuff like. Because I thought I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a fucking like, oh, this guy fucking really hates me.
Listen, it's a function of, so like, for instance. Which religion is good, right? So if we were to say, if you have somebody who say, well, I like Islam, or I like Judaism, or I like Buddhism, or whatever, if you were to say that, and then I would say, well, look at all the great things that have happened in this society because of Judaism, this society because of Islam, this side because of Buddhism, and this side because of Judaism. Or Christianity. If I were to say that, then you would have Richard Dawkins come around and he would say, no, all of you are criminals for allowing your children to learn about God.
Yeah,
your children
you're
should
right.
have the choice to, like, Richard Dawkins believes this, right? In the God Delusion, he basically states that taking your children to church is child abuse.
Yeah.
So for him, but the thing is, because in that case, he's like, well, there is no evidence to support this. And when it comes to investing, whatever it is investing, and this is also goes back to flipping houses, stuff like that, even investing, there are downturns in the market, which then makes there be a, not quite like religion, but a randomness aspect to it. And the randomness aspect then, to some people, negates anyone teaching any course on this whatsoever.
But we can you not agree with me on this, that whenever the market does pull back, when interest rates do rise, when they do certain things, there are certain things that fail first. There are certain things that are going to get pumped out first, okay? That's why crypto lost it really bad when the interest rates went up.
First down, but first up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But so the houses are way more safe because we know that's probably going to be one of the last things if it does go down. So like it's only like the only reason why I'm against it like this is because like I said, it's going to be one of the first ones to go down.
Yeah.
It's gonna, and so I don't want somebody to get screwed. I would totally push somebody into buying property and doing what Myron does.
Because it's old. Because there's a track record to it. That's the thing is, when I'm in a new industry where we're making the track record right now.
But there's risk though. There's high risk with that.
Of course it is, but where
high risk gives high rewards.
My point is, how is he a grifter now if he explains that there's
He's just
high
teaching
risk?
high risk. No. You're just saying. I can also teach people to go trade options and say, hey, buy this option. And there's a 50-50 chance, of it going up or down,
It's
whatever.
not 50-50 because you have to pay for the option.
Yeah. But yeah.
Explain to my audience like what you used to do.
What do you do? What do you used to do? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So from 2013 to I actually still do it now. I think I'm up. I want to say I'm up like 26-27% this year.
Hey.
It's
Nice, bro. Holy shit.
I sell put spreads mainly, but I sell options. So basically,
You don't wheel?
Huh?
You don't wheel?
What do you mean wheel?
Use the wheel strategy where you sell and then once it gets.
Oh, you're talking about the wheel, the wheel of what's it called? What's her name? I can't remember.
I mean, that's just
Liz
what
Jenny.
everybody. If you go on Reddit, it's just all everybody does. Everybody's all using the wheel strategy when you're selling options.
No, I sell put spreads just
You
because.
gotta beware when all of Reddit's on one train, though.
for sure.
Well, it's just about talking about what's the safest, and like if you really look at general consensus,
There's no safety. There is no safety. For me,
Well, of
I
course,
sell
you can
more
still get
options
fucked.
when the VIX is high, and I sell fewer options when the VIX is low. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. And I use SPX because I got a 1256 tax break. I pay 60% long-term capital gains, and I have a smaller bid-ask spread than I would for crypto. So that's why I sell put spreads in SPX. That's mainly what I do for, and I have 5 accounts that I trade for. Right.
everybody's doing SPX. Everybody's doing dailies and shit. Yeah.
See, here's the thing: is like
Yeah, I don't do dailies. I
So,
do
like,
45
for instance,
days.
you can make the case that, like, there was I don't know if you're probably too young to remember this, but the .com bubble, like when all the internet companies were like really pumped up, and then
Yeah.
they all took a shit
Crazy
right around
operation.
2001, 2002, something like
2001,
that.
yeah.
And then they blew out. That would be like me saying, "Oh, don't ever get in this internet thing anymore. It's just fucking, it's a waste of your time and waste of your money." It's like, no, it's not. It's just,
It's
like,
just getting
like,
upset.
it's
Yeah, I know
fucking
with Web3, I know with different things coming, it's going to become a big deal. It's just like anybody that would have bought, if you told everybody to buy a few months ago, I wouldn't talk shit about that because obviously, great call. If you called the bottom, you called the bottom.
We did.
Yeah. So good job if you called the bottom. It's just a matter of we don't know what interest rates are going to do. If I don't know what the Fed chairman is going to do, I'm not going to guess what he's going to
They're
do.
going up 50 more basis points, and then middle of next year, he's going to start taking it down to 100 basis points off of what Jerome Powell just said.
Yeah.
But something could happen if the fucking economy blows up. They'll fucking nuke it down to zero.
And that's why I would.
Which is good overall for crypto and
Where
stock
is
market.
George Gammon?
George Gammon? Yeah.
Yeah, right. I love.
He wouldn't even
George,
fit on the
honestly.
table, bro. He's like so fucking tall.
Honestly, George is one of my biggest inspirations. Like I watch all of his
No,
stuff.
George is a good dude. Yeah.
And that, I just want to also point out that people are like, what the fuck is this guy? Why is it one-on-one? Because Miguel's my partner. And I mean that in a heterosexual man. Not Mike is also my partner. And I also mean that in a
Roll,
heterosexual
tell me the
man.
truth. How you been married 27 years on a date? Like,
Yes. Yes, I have heterosexual life partners.
My favorite is
Yes.
Justin Waller. He goes, "Dude, you look great, all homo."
Bro, like dude, in Texas, that's how it is, bro. We always say no. I'm not gonna say no homo, big homo, buddy. Big homo. Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm gay for you.
No, it's but I wanted to point out for a fact that we bring up like people like we've had Robert Kiyosaki was with us just 3 weeks ago. And then we had Ken McElroy, who's also like really, I mean,
Right.
guys, if he's not a
Oh, that was
billionaire,
an
he's
amazing
just
show.
this close to being a billionaire.
How
But
old are
real
you?
estate.
32.
Oh, same age. Jesus
So-
Christ, hold on, my God.
And then when he drags me to like PulseCon or like
yeah.
his events, then I can't even. I'm like floored by how many people there know me from my podcast, from Access Vegas, from my stuff. And so there's a lot of crossover. So when people like say, well, how come you do stuff with Miguel? It must be because you've got affiliate marketing going, and you got some sort of shield that you're doing. I was like, no, man, I work with him like for a lot of other things too. But like, yes, will I work on you with that? Sure. But there's also crossover between the crypto communities, which, by the way, are desperately need like red pill awareness and
because they're being taken
knowledge.
advantage of.
Yes,
It's
And yeah, I agree with you on that. There's a lot of
Yes.
crypto dorks that need
well,
help.
there's a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and
guys
these,
who get
and these
rolled.
crypto chicks are fucking dangerous, dude. Beware. No,
So there's a
if
lot
she knows crypto and she's a chick, beware.
So there's a lot of there's a crossover.
Shout out to
there.
Kennedy Summers, Dr. Kennedy Summers.
Beware.
And so we have that. We've got that in common. That's the money side of things. You know, like George Gammon, Kiyosaki, even Jason Hartman. Shout out to Jason Hartman. And then then we have the fitness side. You know, we work with O'Neill and other people as far as the fitness is concerned. So it's like just because we have somebody on here that we're talking about, like, yeah, when are they going to talk about red pill stuff? Well, we do if there's crossover. So when you see Miguel with me, and it's like now you're gonna throw rocks at Miguel, you're throwing rocks at me too.
Oh, yeah,
so,
I know.
like when I see that, it's like I'm not sure that a lot of guys really know what the hell they're talking about. So that we gotta kill the stream here in just a second, but I want to point out that one of my biggest problems with the quote unquote red pill right now, or what it's become, is that's why I kept pressing you and asking you about like, well, who are we talking about? What guy are we talking about? What podcast? What individual? What show? When was this? Who were they? Who are they talking about? So when I hear people say, "Oh, it's those red pill guys," they always say X, right? But yet they'll use that sweeping generalization and not be able to tell me who they're mentioning. And yet they'll say those red pill guys, all they do is use sweeping generalizations.
Oh, it's all Myron for me, bro.
Yeah,
all my beef is with Myron.
I said exactly.
Honestly.
You have beef with Myron?
I said the same
Yeah,
thing.
all my beef is with Myron. I disagree with him on most things by far.
But see, let me explain something to you. Myron Gaines and Walt, they are not the beginning and the end of the red pill, nor am I, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a collective.
It's evolution.
And so that's what. Well, see, that's the problem that throws people off is that the red pill is decentralized. It's like anonymous, right? There's no leader of the red pill. There is no grand poobah or what. They call me the Godfather. Thank you, but you know what? When I'm gone, there'll be another person. Hell, Kevin Samuels was called the Godfather for a long time.
Yes, he was.
Right?
Yeah.
So when there's no like face to the red pill. There's no face. Even if people want to make Andrew Tate the face of the red pill because he was on Tucker Carlson, he's still coming out saying those red pill dorks, I don't want to have anything to do with them anymore.
Right.
Well, remember what I was saying. Well, it's going to happen in the next 5 years with the manosphere. That's the canary in the coal mine right there. But when I press these guys and I say, who are you talking about? Well, I did this with Destiny when we were on there on Fresh and Fit. I'm saying, who? Who are you talking about? Because most of them think of the red pill as this big enigmatic thing, and you guys all agree to this, and you guys are all incels. Now, apparently, red pill is like synonymous with incel.
Yeah,
Well, it's synonymous with Fresh and Fit and their audience.
Well,
That's what's
alpha
synonymous.
traits to Destiny meant narcissism, Machiavellianism, and sociopathy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know a single person in this space like prescribing you sociopathy. No one. The idea that that's an alpha trait, and he goes, no, what you need to do is have a bunch of female friends to go to these places and then use your status with it. I'm like, no, dude, those are the alpha traits. You're saying like the problem is with him is that he's already gone on Lex Fridman and Tom Bilyeu's podcast, and it's those guys, and he's made a description of all red pill guys being in this one place, and then when he goes against me, it's very frustrating for him because it's like, no, you're right.
You're not like them.
Yeah, but no, it's not that I'm not like them. It's I agree. There's no way if a guy's in there like, kill all women or some crazy shit like that. We agree that's misogynist. Like that's ridiculous. You shouldn't say shit like that, right? We agree that some of these people are racist. That's not the point. What we're trying to make is like no one at the top of the funnel is prescribed. Well, maybe there are. I mean, maybe the dude in Brazil is, but like no one at the top of the funnel is prescribing those things. And so when he talks to reasonable people who are like, hey, the 15-year-olds in our YouTube live chats, they don't represent us. And my God, like if you were to look at the on Rumble, when they go live on Rumble and they turn YouTube off and everyone's on there, that stream is horrible.
I've never seen it. I need
It's
to check it out
crazy
one
the
time.
shit that they say on the live stream.
I need to check it out. I've
It's
never
like
seen
Whitler.
it.
Also,
Yeah, say hi to Whitler.
If all you ever knew about the red pill was what you got off of like the after hours show, because there's other shows on Fresh and Fit than the after hours show. If all you ever got out of the red pill, if that was your definition of the red pill, you're incomplete.
I agree.
Okay, if
1,000%.
all you ever were to look at was say like Kevin Samuel stuff, but good as it is, it would still be incomplete. If all you ever did was read my 5 books and didn't do anything else, it would still be incomplete. So when people want to make a grift out of criticizing the red pill, usually when you press them and say, hey, look, who are you talking about? They won't be able to tell you anyone, or maybe Fresh and Fit they would. Like Destiny even said that. I'm like, okay, who else? Because if you're gonna say it's all those red pill guys, well, what other red pill guys you have any fucking working knowledge of? And they got fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's better for them to go throw out like, you know, hand grenades about like those red pill guys and straw man everything that they know nothing about. And when you press them on it, they absolutely do not know anything about the red pill, or they don't know anything about the history of it. I've been doing this for 20 fucking years and I still got to go see like, you know, Destiny on what Tom DeLue or fucking Lex Friedman or Chris Williamson, right? As some sort of, you know, leading authority on the manosphere. And it's like you're talking to a guy, to a kid who's been associated with this for the last maybe 18 months, if that. And so that tells me not only about that person, but also the person who's interviewing them as well. So I have to sort of take that with a grain of salt because I've been doing this a lot longer than anybody else has. But when I'm seeing people say, well, the red pill is this, the red pill is that, I struggle with saying, well, what is the red pill, Rollo? I will sit here and yammer on and monologue for a very long fucking time because it's not a bumper sticker. It's not an elevator pitch. It is a fucking college course is what it is. It's red pill 101, red pill 102, red pill, you know, and then you got the primer, you got to take the fucking doctoral thesis at the end of it because that's how in-depth and how you know controversial it ends up being. Because if you don't have that depth of experience, and I will tell this to anybody who wants to come into this space, including yourself, anybody who wants to come into this space, you better take the fucking college course before you start your show.
Yeah,
When
and I'm
people
trying
say-
to catch up on y'all's
when-
evolutionary
when
psychology
people,
books.
when people come to me and they say, well, how come you have a problem with Pearl? She didn't take the fucking course.
Yeah, she didn't read the books,
Okay?
yeah.
Myron Gaines took the course.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why Myron is actually a pretty good representative, I think, of the.
Yeah,
red
I
pill.
agree,
But
he
when
is.
anybody
Yeah.
new comes into the space, I go, okay, what is this guy talking about? Does he have any like knowledge of this? Does he care about knowing it? You mentioned Torsha a little while ago. One of the reasons why I worked with Torsha and I liked her is because she took the time to go back through my backlog, read all my books, went through all the backlog of all my old blogs, and made like content based on that. That's somebody who wants to be you want a red pill woman. That's the one I would point you to right now, is because she knows the shit. I would never say the same thing about Pearl because she's just an entertainer who will go and try to ask other people, what should I talk about today, right?
Yeah.
And then doesn't know how to defend a point. If you don't know how to defend the point, then I know you're not about the.
And I don't read just the Evo Psych books. I also read all the Stefan Speaks book. I'm trying to just help women
Well, see,
in general.
Even Evo Psych, that's one aspect of the red pill.
Yeah,
There's anthropology,
1000%.
sociology,
Yeah.
brain fucking.
I try to keep lists of everything that you talk about, bro.
Yeah.
Like I literally try to walk.
Evolutionary biology, in some respects, I think is almost more important than evolutionary psychology to some subjects that we're talking. And having a working knowledge of that, I can't expect.
Yeah,
32-year-old guy to
but the
figure
issue with
that
the
out.
evolutionary biology stuff
Yeah.
specifically, it is so not against, but it's so antithetical to what some Christians and Muslims and Jews believe.
Yeah.
The evolutionary psychology, you can actually kind of get away with it, but the evolutionary biology is so tied into natural selection that it makes it very difficult for you to be like, and it says in the Genesis to go forth and multiply, and it's like, well, we used to be related to we have a common ancestor with monkeys. And they're like, what? That doesn't make... Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, rather than read that, what I'm going to say instead is, why can't we get back to traditional values? Well, no, wait. We were talking about evolutionary biology a second ago. No, I want traditional values. I'm like, well, the traditional values would be like the Serengeti 70,000 years ago. That would be the traditional values.
Yeah.
When we saw people we didn't recognize, we snuck in there in the middle of the night and murdered them, and then
Took their
stole
bitches.
their lives. That's actually the traditional values, if you want to know what those are. That's before there was a written word. We're still in an ice age back then. So, I mean, I think that's one of the issues is that like, we're getting back to the super chats.
Yeah, we got to finish
More
that.
super
All right,
chats.
then play us out, Piano Cat.
All right. So, By the way, Brad, we type like this. I think it's supposed to be for you, Mike. They called you Brad.
I don't get it.
By the way, Brad, we type like this because limited characters or letters on these super chats. Kevin Samuel spoke on this a lot. Stay away from nurses, restaurant workers, and other masculine jobs. They don't bring peace.
They actually are good servers, so they're good at serving people.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriends
What
have
if-
always been the
what
most
if I'm
serving
not
women that want to
looking
cook
for
and
a
do all
woman
types of
to
shit
give
for me.
me
So
peace?
I definitely
I've heard
disagree with that.
Chaotic sexual energy.
All right. Mr. World, 999 PPP.
Miguelito.
Mr. World. Let's fucking go. Miguelito. We look forward to having you on Purple Pill Podcast. Put us on some financial games.
There we go.
Yeah, come to
There you
Dallas,
go.
bro. You're welcome anytime, man. I would love to
All
have
right,
you
then.
on.
And then one more.
We can make peace, guys.
All right,
we can
we
make
can-
peace.
One more.
Peace in our
it
time.
says, it's not in there. But Sergio, did you do your push-ups today?
Should we have him
Mike,
do it
don't fucking call. No, I did not do them today. Fuck. I will do them later. We got a hotel with a
We
fucking
gotta get
room.
that
bro.
on video.
I know.
Or it didn't happen.
Powerhouse gym, baby.
Next time you come out, we're gonna take you to Powerhouse.
No, for sure, for sure.
All right. That's a wrap.
That's us. Thank you for watching. Also, at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be on Access Vegas, right on this channel that you're watching right now, and also on Mike's channel, and you're probably already watching it on Access Vegas as well. So be sure to tune in. We'll be on with the ladies. How many we got this on? 10?
No, it's 8.
Eight?
So because there's 3 dudes,
Uh-huh.
I have 9 girls scheduled, but probably I always expect
What's that?
guys. If you ever want to know the secret, you book 10 to get 6. That's
Yes,
always what it is.
yes.
You end up with 9 or 8,
Yeah.
but you book 10 to get 6.
By the way, that's also the secret of getting girls not to flake.
Yes,
You-
also-
you backlog them.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
front-
for
you
sure.
spinning
For
plates.
You front
bikini,
load your dates. You won't
for
know,
bikini
no more
for
flakes.
bikini competition, you need 60 to get 40. That's how it works for that.
Yeah,
right.
But for the Maxim party, you need 100 to get 80. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And for Bulgarians parties, you need 100 to get 100.
There you
They ain't
go.
missing that
There you go.
opportunity.
Trade secrets from Las Vegas, free of charge on the show. Anyways, we will see you guys at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks a lot.
Dude,
Everybody
thank
shake
you so
hands.
much,
Everybody's
bro.
cool with everybody.
Yep,
there we
yes,
go.
we are.
All right.
Thank y'all guys
Thanks.
so
We'll
much,
see you guys
man.
in a little while.